They're going to try to decapture middle, and actually with the holo, they're going to get that as well. Again, blue team a little bit slow on the rotations. There's the kill there. They need to get this decap. They've got to kill this quickly. They do not have time to spare here. Spectre trying to hold, but that's not going to work. I don't think that this is way too late for this. Spectre will die almost immediately, I think. Does have some evasion here. We have a bit of reinforcements coming in from the Virtuoso, but it's a little bit too late in my opinion. Here comes the kill though. Actually does manage to get a massive burst, but again, does not have the... Has it? No. Monthly AT is enabled. We've got Ragnos versus Budget. Fly in the mix here as well. I don't know who's playing with who. I think some of the teams since last time have kind of readjusted themselves a little bit. Let's get to, Zintrek's team. That's actually pretty exciting. We have Kill. This is almost certainly French Worms team being in the mix here as well, actually. The Silver Boys, that's a good name. Lisa, probably another kind of French Worm style team. Fly, I don't know who Fly's playing with, actually. I think Pain has a team as well. Let's take a look at what's going on here. Here we go. Let's have a look at this. So what have we got here? We have Kill. Here we go. We have Kill. We have Draza. We have Azaz. We have... What even is this? Okay. This is a Ranger player. Another ult. People are winning gizmos on their mains. They make new accounts to confuse me. And we have Tak Necro as well. I believe this is Esprit's ult account here on the Reaper. Covered in shouts. We love to see that, guys. Look at that Rabid Amulet with Rune of the Lynx. Relic of the Demon Queen. This is definitely one of those relics that is really powerful, right? Like healing reduction of 50% on poison, which is going to be great with the Chillblains here, of course, and the Pistol 3 attack as well. And Soul Spiral as well. Doom Sigil's also being used. Lots of poison application. That poison application... Very good at pressuring in these team fights. And really good at denying revives as well. Don't forget about that, right? Because you can slow down the revival potential of your opponents by using that in those cleave scenarios. This is the setup. Curses, Death Magic, and Reaper there. Very good stuff. I think a lot of these first games, they are going to be a little bit rough, as you might expect. But we'll see. Still the Chronomancer being played. Nothing super unusual here with this setup.
Hold on to your points.
Exactly the same as before. Utilizing Temporal Enchanter, actually, instead of Ego Restoration, giving for super speed and resistance. On the Elite skill, feedback not being used here. So only one Glamour in play. This is just to synergize with the Elite skill. Which, of course, is a very potent combo that can be used, especially with Continuum Shift. And Mantra of Resolve as well. Looking to deal with some condition pressure, actually. And, of course, a bit more healing. We've seen a little bit of variety in heal skill or utility skill usage. Some go for the Stability Mantra, some go for Feedback. Feedback, obviously, really good against Deadeye, which is pretty popular in the meta. Currently, Draza, of course, utilizing the Deadeye here, actually. Azaz, big Revenant gamer. Actually going to be playing the Vindicator here. I think it's going to be the DPS build. Yep, the DPS build here. Berserker Amulet, Rune of the Scholar, and Relic of the Wayfinder, actually. Oh, interesting. With the movement speed, actually. When you enter combat, you gain super speed, and just having that flat 25% movement speed increase. And more outside of combat, so having that mobility about that. That's a really interesting pick, actually. I wouldn't have necessarily expected that to make it into any of these matches. Let's see if we see any of the other new relics popping up, actually. Because, of course, we have actually got, you know, brand new stuff to be looking at. Yeah, still Flock Relic, of course, on the Chronomancer. Not super surprising there, to be honest. To see that, I think, with the Chronomancer. Flock Relic, very good choice, both in PvE and PvP. But yeah, blue team, we're just going to be looking at rosters in this first round. I want to know who's who. A lot of these are going to be pretty straightforward. We'll go through the rosters, and then we will go ahead and see if there are any close games to have a look at there as well. All right, in we go. Ooh, oh, hang on a minute. This is a very fun team here. Oh, look at this. We kind of have, I mean, 3 out of 5 Ultranum here. We have the Rotator. Honestly, that's the real name here. Fly, aka the Rotator on the Spectre. It is quite interesting, actually. Like, some teams go for the Deadeye, some teams go for the Spectre. I think some of that is actually personal preference. I think Thief players definitely have their favorite flavors. A lot of people like Daredevil, for example. Less people, I think, are inclined to play Deadeye. So, we'll see how that pans out against the Deadeye later on. But, yeah, I think some of that, there will be strategic decisions here as well, of course, but I think a lot of it actually is just, you know, being a Spectre enjoyer or being a Daredevil or Deadeye enjoyer. Gauntlet on the Reaper, running a very similar setup to Esprit. Different relic, though, actually. Relic of the Reaper for more chill application. That's going to give you a lot of damage application, too, of course. Every chill, and that's a lot of shouts. So we have 4 shouts. All of those are going to apply a bit of extra chill. That will be more damage with Deathly Chill there as well. Other than that, a very similar setup across the board, utilizing Death Magic to get that tankiness from Corruptors further, and of course Deadly Strength and that extra toughness. I mean, look at Carapace, right? Carapace stacks are 10 power, 10 toughness, 10 condition damage across the board, so a lot of extra durability and a lot of extra damage output as well from that Death Magic trait line. Very reminiscent, I feel like, of the Defense trait line and Warrior, actually. It's a line that both has offensive and defensive potential attached to it now. And that's why it's seeing play even over Soul Reaping, right? Never thought I'd be seeing the day where Soul Reaping wasn't even that popular on Necromancer. Kind of wild, actually. But again, utilizing Pistol, Torch, and Staff, the good old faithful build here. Spectral Armor instead of Spectral Walk. So basically a bit more kind of muscle to the build, I think you could say, right? Like some staying power within those fights as opposed to a bit of mobility and disengage potential. But yeah, same Chronomancer build, of course. Yeah, this is going to be feedback, though, instead of the Cleanse Mantra. So utilizing Temporal Enchanter for more super speed and resistance in addition to the Time Warp. Going to be great against Deadeyes, of course, and any other projectile weapons that are in there. We have the Druid in the mix here as well. You know, it's one of those builds that kind of scared to see it, you know? Man, this is such a cool trait, actually. Carnivore is so much fun. Steal health whenever you disable them. It's actually so incredibly broken in PvE and still pretty damn strong as well in PvP. You can see that 600 lifesteal in every single CC. A lot of CC on Druid as well, both in Celestial Avatar and, of course, on the weapon skills. Plenty of stuff to utilize there. A lot of tankiness, though, with Nature Magic and Wilderness Survival. And Druid just being ever so annoying with that Rabid Amulet and Rune of the Mirage. Relic of the Demon Queen there as well. A lot of poison on Druid, of course, right? You have a lot of poison coming out from the Eclipse over here. Very strong stuff. Very strong stuff indeed. Delete the Druid. Yeah, I mean, Druid is one of those classes that when it pops up, it kind of inspires fear, I think. Dread, even. I have Capablanca as well. Another Ultranon member. Here he is on the Vindicator. DPS Vindicator here. Very popular. Oh, wait.
Stillness has appeared.
Rune of the Reaper. I almost go, wait, Rune of the Reaper? But of course, no. That I was like, wait, the Shout Rune? No. Of course, Reaper is just stats these days for lots of power, toughness, and precision. Getting all the way up to a very high crit chance of 73%, of course. And Relic of the Wayfinder being in play there as well. So just more mobility essentially out of combat and super speed when you actually enter the engage on this build. You know, you're not a herald, so you don't have, you don't have that infinite uptime on every boon. Does seem to have swiftness in combat though, but I guess this is more of kind of getting that burst of speed when entering combat at the same time, right? So I guess that makes sense. Makes sense to me. Little bit of extra mobility, and of course movement speed increases like this will kind of in a way stack together a little bit. I don't know if this one works that way, actually. I think some of them can work differently, but what might be happening here with this is that it kind of prevents you from getting slowed down while you're in combat as well, because a lot of movement speed interactions can actually stack and kind of counteract slows and stuff like that as well. And yeah, Salvation trait line instead of Invocation too, so a bit more tankiness and staying power here. You have the DPS coming from the Devastation trait line. Salvation, lots of tankiness in here, lots of barrier, and of course the damage reduction. This is, you know, I feel like this trait here is one of the most problematic traits in the history of Guild Wars 2. Like, you know, whenever you see a Rev running the Salvation trait line, you're always thinking, oh boy, I wonder how, I wonder how this build is going to be destroying the entire game. But anyway, let's go ahead and have a look at some of the other teams. Another French team here. Let's take a look. What do we got here? Lisa, Jelsine, Sakaya, Hypnos, and Goku, actually. Currently being defeated by the red team. Ah, Zealith team, actually. Playing core support guard. That's very interesting. Haven't seen this build for a while. That is super old school. Over the Chronomancer. Little bit curious to see if that's actually going to remain the choices. I think Chronomancer has very much superseded this build in pretty much every way in the support meta. So, interesting choice to go with this here. We do still see the same kind of builds that we've seen pop up. We've got the Deadeye here. We've got the Reaper. Untamed as well. Still very, very juicy. Of course, the Untamed nerfs have gone through to Mace, I believe. So, Untamed has been nerfed quite a lot, actually. A lot less stability, a lot less damage, and less damage modifiers on these Mace abilities. So, it is going to be a little bit different. It's actually a completely different setup as well, actually. Utilizing the new pet. Oh, yeah, I haven't actually had a look at these abilities. Oh, you've got Blind and Confusion on some of this ability. We have damage, well, I mean, that's from traits, protection and vigor there. Whoa, look at this thing. Oh, this is a Boon Corrupt, obviously really nice in PvP on that pet ability there. And of course, we also have, oh, big damage, holy shit. 3.4k tooltip damage on that third ability there. Looks like that's going to be very painful if that ability actually ends up landing on you there as well. Pretty interesting stuff. Yes, it's Ultra Scuffed. They're in business in this matchup. Yeah, red team winning here. Strong team actually as well with this one. Strong team. Very solid players there. Let's go ahead and move on. Do we have any other? I think this team also could potentially be quite juiced up. And Zintrex's team. Oh, looks like a lot of these games have actually already finished, so we can't have a look at Zintrex's team just yet. But we will, of course, in the next round. Oh, very close match. I think this is the last game. Let's actually observe the conclusion. So we have very even match. Blue team actually taking a little bit of control here, but the red warrior has actually managed to make the cross and will be able to lock down this node. Stillness is up. Will either player be going for it? Oh, red team secure a kill. Now, blue team are actually ahead on points, and they do have a node right now. So as long as they don't completely lose this fight, they're okay. But actually, they turn it around. A big turnaround here by the blue team, securing 2 of these kills there, then a third. I think blue team... Why does this always happen, guys? I join a really close game, and then one team immediately wins. Yeah, a devastating team fight victory here in favor of blue team. And they should just win the game from here. As long as this player just stands a good 1v1 victory here as well, actually, by the Soul Beast. And they managed to get Stillness as well. Oh, wow, this is quite a brutal ending to this game, actually. Goodness me. Oh, and it was an insane comeback. What the hell? Look at this. Red team was actually dominating until a good halfway through the game, and blue team just somehow managed to bring it back in an epic comeback, just narrowly winning the game there right at the end. Well, there you have it. Bleboing. I think that's the end of first round. Yes, it absolutely is. Kill versus Fly. That's already going to be a bit of a banger, I think. We've got to take a look at that game. That could be very exciting. Wow, we actually have 2 games here. Zintrex match, and we also have a Kill versus Fly match. So I think both of these are going to be pretty interesting. We will have to investigate. Stay tuned. All right, here we go. So on the red team, do they have team names? They don't have team names. Unlucky. We have Kill. Heal Chronomancer. Ready to go. Ready to pump. We have Draza on the Deadeye. Interesting looking character here. On the Deadeye, of course, going to be with Rifle and Sword, Dagger, Relic of Fireworks, Rune of the Warrior, Berserker Amulet. And this is kind of where you do see that Rune Relic separation kind of helping out here a bit. You're able to separate the effect of the Relic for more damage with a bit of extra tankiness, but still some power output on the Warrior. You can see a lot of extra vitality, kind of enabling the use of the Berserker Amulet here on this build. We have Azaz, Wayfinder Relic, Relic of the Rune of the Scholar for pure DPS with Berserker. Salvation that we saw previously for that tankiness with Devastation. Slightly different setup. Brutality over Swift Termination. So you want some Booneroo, but also, and I think quite importantly, the quickness application there as well, which is going to be very powerful for unleashing very quick bursts. Quickly swapping onto your Greatsword for really big damage there with your Miss-Unleash and Eternity's Requiem. With that stuff there as well. We have a relog here from Draza. Let's see what he's going to relog to. We have the Soul Beast here, in fact. Full stance setup here as well. So we're seeing a bit of variety. Some people are going Druid, some people are going Untamed, but we do still see a lot of Ranger action. Again, full DPS, Mighty Maces there, look at those things. And then Sword, Warhorn, nothing too crazy there. On the Soul Beast, a lot of stances here as well. I mean, some of these abilities are so powerful, actually, right? Very, very powerful abilities. And we have the Reaper here. Tack Necro, ready to go. On the blue team, Spectre, the Rotator, Gauntlet, Reaper, Lord, Mamaya's, Chronomancer Gamer with Stab Mantra over the Cleanse Mantra. So, slight build differentials here. We have the Druid, of course, which is going to be an absolute joy for the red team to deal with. And Cowablanca also on the Vindicator. Again, DPS Vindicator, big mainstay of the meta. Oh, a massive burst, though. Immediately landing on the Cowablanca. Chronomancer sustaining that up immediately, though. There's actually a portal down there that could be used if the blue team wants to go for that. Now, red team did go for that push, whereas blue, more straightforward rotation, going for the fight immediately here on middle, trying to get some control over their opponent's home node as well. Haven't been able to do it, though, so far, actually. In fact, it is going to be the Druid for blue team. It is actually going to go downstate here. Red team were able to respond to it quite well and successfully get that kill, while also clipping up the opponent's node on the other side of that too with the Lion. So a very strong start here for red team, actually. And I think blue... I think their opener just completely flopped. I think this is going to be a die and go again angle. I wouldn't be surprised to see the red team get full map control here. As, yeah, they were able to pick up kills across the board. 4 players from the blue team being eliminated. Just a bit of an outmaneuver here from red team. Blue just... They were a fly flying into a spider's web. I guess it's appropriate seeing as they have fly on their team. They were an actual insect and... Well, there it is. A falling damage death on the chrono. Probably actually a good thing. They can't be bled out. That gives them a bit more time to actually reset. But, yeah. This is looking a little bit rough here, to be honest. It's not looking good. Blue team now being spawn camped. I think it's almost going to be a look at a different game angle, to be honest. Scout Blanca tries to go back into the fray, but immediately destroyed. I guess somewhat unsurprisingly. Because the Druid is trying to get out on the map and maybe split up the action there to give blue team a little bit of opportunity to re-enter this fight, but that might not be the case, actually. And yeah, it was the Berserker relog, actually, here from Draz as well, the condition damage Berserker. Another fearsome build for kind of these 1v1 and, of course, outnumbered scenarios here on the Berserker. Some pretty big DPS. Maybe even a 1v2 earlier on in the game. I mean, yeah, this game is over, actually. Let's go ahead and look at the other one. Any other games going on there? But yeah, very decisive victory in favor of red team. Looking incredibly strong. Definitely one of the favorites for this particular tournament. Let's see what we've got in this match. Let's see what we got here.
Did you see that? Red team got a capture point.
Here we go.
The Colosseum's artifacts are accruing power.
So, on the red team, we have Zintrex. Man, they nerfed Staff Warrior, but apparently still actually going to end up seeing some play here as well with Rune of the Druid. Relic of Isgaran here on the Staff Warrior. Going to be the duelist setup here as well with a dagger sword as well.
Red team wins.
Purple Abundance, House of Balloons on the on the support chronomars. We have Erozik on the Vindicator that we've seen before. We have Cope DM, that's a good one actually, I think, on the Deadeye, and a Reaper too. So lots of Reapers in this one actually. It's, you know, it's good to see. I feel like a meta with Necromancer in it is always a lot of fun, I think, overall. And on the blue team, we have this character playing Chronomancer. We have Thief playing Thief, unsurprisingly. Daredevil this time around. We have Need for Speed on Vindicator. We have Master Chef Force. What are these names? Here on another Vindicator. And we have the Condition Damage Duelist Warrior here as well. So red team so far losing a player but up on the map right now. Blue team do need to get out there. They have a duel going on the shield buff at this moment. And blue team getting a little bit low actually. That Reaper going in for the kill is able to land it. And 2 players from the blue team are actually going to go down here. As Zintrex able to get the better of this Thief while also this Vindicator in trouble. Can the Reaper finish out the cleave though? As the Chronomancer for red team also fell in that battle. And yeah, a bit of a turnaround there. Ooh. Very unfortunate for red to not be able to actually get that finish there. The cleave and the res discipline from blue team is a little bit too good. Able to deny that, and now red team in a really awkward position here as this Reaper is going to have a very hard time disengaging. Erozik might be able to get out, but I think this Reaper's days are extremely numbered. Yeah, Zintrex tries to come in for some assistance. Is there a warband? I know it's going to be Rampage, so no banner available here in this matchup. I don't think this is resable in any way. It's going to be a case of trying to defuse this fight. Oh, hang on a minute. Wow, holy shit, the Chronomancer makes it just in the nick of time. Are they actually going to be able to get this? Yes, they are. Erozik gets the counter cleave as well, and the Warrior also falls in the madness. What a very scrappy encounter here, and all of a sudden, the turns have tabled very much so against the blue team, and the red team pick up 2 very important kills, getting rid of the Vindicator and the Warrior. They're going to push onto this map, and with the blue team outnumbered as they are, I don't think they're going to be able to hold this position whatsoever. That's really not going to happen.
Blue team grabbed a
Unlucky here for blue team. And yeah, Chronomancer about to go down. That's going to be the end of that. Holding on quite nicely. Does have another shield charge, but yeah, the Condis are ticking, and that is going to be the end of that. Need for Speed will not be able to revive here. Might even end up falling too. Doesn't really have anything. Could legend swap. Oh, yeah, they weren't actually in Shiro, so they did have that dodge roll, but still, the Condis are ticking. I think that's going to be a dead Revenant. It absolutely is. Meanwhile, we have, of course, the epic Thief 1v1 over here. Deadeye versus the Daredevil. So that's going to take a while to resolve, I think, for sure. Both of them are going to have Shadow Arts, but 2 more dead players for blue. Red team taking a lot of map control here as well. Standing on the middle node. getting the caps, getting the captures. It's looking very, very good indeed. Yeah, Thief getting driven away as well. Over here, the Necromancer kind of came in to help there. The Warrior from blue is here as well. But again, I think it's going to be a lot of DPS. It's going to be kind of free for the Necromancer to connect. There's a lot of good kiting terrain here. So the Warrior is not going to be able to pressure the Necromancer super effectively. And as you can see here, yeah, the Warrior already starting to lose HP. The Thief not able to do that much. This might be the end of the Warrior. Yeah, massive set of bleeds getting applied there. That is a dead Warrior. And Red Team is kind of starting to run away with this game. A nice revive, though, actually, from the Chronomancer. Blinking in, gets that player back on their feet instantaneously. But is it going to be enough? I mean, it maybe defuses this fight for a little bit, but Red Team is just very much well ahead here on the map. They're just winning these fights pretty consistently. Blue Team needs to make something happen. They have managed to pick up the shield buff, but the sword buff rests solely in the hands of Red Team yet again. I think that's definitely the one you want to have here. Securing these kills is going to be much easier for them. As you can, they immediately kill the Chronomancer, and that is really, really unfortunate. No support in these battles means it's pretty much non-viable for Blue to continuously fight here. I don't really see any way they can get anything done in this fight. Like, the HP bars of the Red Team are way too good for this situation. Points do get neutralized, but is that going to be enough? I'm not sure. I don't think so.
Did you see that? Red
Thief gets the cap over here. We'll then be able to push into the fight. Another kill secured, so it's still going to be an outnumbered fight wherever it happens on the map right now against the blue team, as Red have got 5 players and, well, Blue don't. And 5 is generally the way to go when it comes numerically. However, Deadeye does get a little bit caught, actually. Maybe getting a little bit over greedy there, outstaying their welcome. Does get immediately taken out, so does equalize it to 4 players a pop. And Erazik in a little bit of trouble as well. We do have the support Chronomancer here, so I think Erazik should be able to hold on pretty nicely. But of course, there's a lot of damage coming out right now from the blue team. Mantra being recharged. There's the big heal. It does connect. Barrier available too, actually. So let's see how this hold continues. They are on the other side of the map from their spawn. I like the portal. Is it going to land? Can Erazik get to the portal? Erazik, oh, I mean, yeah, that would have been pretty sick, but unfortunately did not happen. That was almost like you can take someone with you on your blink, right? Went for the blink away, dropped the portal, but it wasn't good enough. Some very good kiting and defensive usage, though, by Erazik, and is able to successfully escape this encounter. And reinforcements from the Reaper are now in the mix, too. So here you have it. Content begins. Team fight about to erupt here, I think. The Reaper going to be maybe a little bit of a target here for the blue team. But the support is available here. Like, pretty much everything is ready for the Chronomancer. So I don't think anyone's going to be dying anytime soon unless a serious mistake is made or buttons simply aren't pressed. Heal's coming down now as well. And the Reaper doing some pretty good pressure. But fairly stalled fight right now. Zindra's going to stand on the point, kind of holding the node for the team while the Reaper is kiting him. There's the Time Warp now being used, so big cooldown starting to come through here for the Chronomancer. Is getting a little bit pressure themselves, has the distortion, no shield block for a while though. Wisely is going to kite away, gets the heal mantra now. Getting focused on very heavily. There's Blink. There's basically nothing left for the Chrono now. Yep, and that's going to be the end of that. Some good focus there, good targets off the Reaper onto the Chronomancer by blue team. They are going to be able to win that fight. Can red team actually turn this though? They nearly had a kill down state there on the Vindicator. Zintrax is going to push it. He's going to go for it to try and turn this fight. It's going to be very hard, though. There will be the revive potential as well, even if we see the downside. And yeah, I think we are going to have to see red team disengage. They do not have that support. Chronomancer is now back in the mix, but won't be able to get to middle for a while. But while we've been distracted by that team fight, look at the score. Blue team has not been able to control the map during all of that. They were able to win that fight, but that doesn't really mean anything. They weren't even actually able to neutralize the middle. Oh, goes for the pixel jump. Actually gets it as well. Holds his blink. Very meme play there. Love to see that from Purple Ambulance. And that is going to be the end of this. Red team will emerge victorious. Are there any other games going on? I don't know. Are those the only... I think there was another pretty big team somewhere. Actually. Oh, we have a fairly close game here as well, actually. We have a matchup happening. Blue team definitely ahead right now. Actually, especially with these 2 kills, actually. We have a kill on the Warrior and on the Spectre at the same time. Can red team somehow make an insane comeback? To be honest, I don't think so. It's a little bit too late for that. A little late in the day. 450 points for blue. And red loses another player, actually, the Virtuoso also falling. Tempest is able to collect a node. Wait, Vivi's going for the Bleb Boying Pyramid. Oh, locked in. Shut down there by Alcar, though, unfortunately. Did not manage the Bled-Boing Pyramid. Alcar destroyed you. Yeah. Man, honestly, the Covenant is weak. The old Covenant would have been able to get that 10 Bled-Boing Pyramid on lockdown very easily. The new Covenant is impotent, to be honest.
The Colosseum's artifacts are accruing power.
Regardless of that, the blue team is going to win this game. And that's how it is. Game over. It's over. It's over. Is that the end of the round? It is. It's swift. Only a 5-round month a year, actually. 5 rounds only. A little shorter than usual. Here we go. I think this actually should be a pretty interesting game. We have Zintrek's roster here versus the unstoppable French team. Is it a coincidence, guys, that last tournament it was a French victory, I believe, and now the French have fully joined forces to form the ultimate French roster?
Into the harbor. It's the Capricorn.
How's it going to go? I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen in this game? Who knows what the situation is going to be here? I think blue team is going to be pretty damn strong, to be honest, right? Like, blue team, I mean, pretty juicy, pretty powerful. Definitely give them the advantage here, I think. In fact, like, blue team, to me, looks like the most well-formed roster. When I say most well-formed, I mean, you know, these players have played a lot with each other, right? Like, they're going to be familiar with the synergy and all that kind of stuff. That's a big advantage, right? Like, especially when it comes to Conquest, like, understanding how to rotate around each other and how to play around each other. It's pretty important stuff. Az is getting very heavily pressured here at the start, though. Able to wriggle away. Chronomancer doing its thing. Reaper also taking a bit of a pounding. Needs to be a little bit careful with pushing in. However, that Deadeye gets caught and goes down, and that's going to be very difficult to res, especially with how much DPS there is here from the blue team. And yeah, very strong start for blue. Meanwhile, we have this Warrior 1v1. Wait, actually, is it a Warrior 1v1? It is indeed a Warrior 1. We've got the Berserker here. Berserker from the blue team. Does have to kite a little bit, as we do have the Vindicator moving in, for instance. Actually, it's a 3v1 now, but the blue team is in hot pursuit. They're running in. The Warrior is able to wriggle away. Looks like they're going to go for a re-engage here as well. We have the Deadeye in too, and man, yeah, Deadeye is very, very scary for Reaper. Ooh, the Reaper gets pulled off. This is very dangerous here. There's no support here, no Chronomancer whatsoever. This Reaper is very vulnerable currently. He's going to try to kite away some good CC there coming through from Heretic to try and deny this assault. Reaper's getting some good damage off here as well, as of course, as the blue team was forced to pursue right into the AoEs, but yeah, it's not going to be enough. That was a very nice knockback there, actually, dislodging the Reaper from the kiting spot and led to them not being able to survive. The Mesmer is on their way back now, but I think it's going to be way too late for that, as the Deadeye falls again, actually, on the other side of the map. Az is Rev able to get that pickup. Triple cap here, 100 points to 4. This is looking absolutely brutal here, actually, at this stage in the tournament. This is not what you like to see if you are the red team currently. Very hard to come back, and I think we're going to be moving out of this game very, very quickly. I think red team are a little bit doomed here. It's going to be a bit rough.
Be ready to give the signal and return fire.
We have a relog, actually. Might be going to a different variant of Thief or something else on the red team. Try and mix things up a little bit, but of course, if you go for that relog, it does get you out of the game for a long time, essentially condemning the red team to a triple cap for the next minute or so. And by the time this player is able to reconnect and get back and change up build whatever they had, it's going to be the Catalyst, actually. Instead, yeah, I'm not sure about that one, to be honest. Not sure if that's going to work out. I think that's kind of a bit of a Hail Mary play here. Meanwhile, we actually have the blue team essentially spawn camping their opponents. Necromancer from blue getting very heavily focused, but the support is here. They actually portaled out there, I believe, with the Chronomancer. The support is still good here from Kill. Here comes the support. Every shadow being used, massive pressure coming through. Of course, blue team is a little bit spread right now. They were trying to control the bell. They get the bell here. They were trying to control the map, so they were, of course, outnumbered heavily in that situation. But they actually managed to somehow survive. The Chronomancer is in trouble, though. Is going to go down. So red team able to find a kill. I think they're going to find Az at the same time. Yeah, Az is going to die as well. But actually, they're going for the res. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Blue team do lose players, but I mean, they also have a lot of points. They have many points right now. The red team will desperately try and spread out on the map. They need to be pressuring this node. Yeah, the Warrior is going to be on that. It will be a little bit of a while before the blue team actually has a response to that. At least for the time being. And Blue's still holding onto this node here as well. We've got the Warrior, the Deadeye, and the Necromancer. And actually, the Red Necromancer in a lot of trouble here. Might be about to be taken out. Yeah, is eliminated there. Wasn't able to get rid of all those Condis. And yeah, the Deadeye from the blue team Draz are just tearing through that Catalyst. Trying the revive. Actually, they do find the revive, actually. Onto the Reaper, which is definitely pretty nice. As the Warrior got eliminated, leading to the rally over there. Reaper try to disengage. Red team has nodes. They've got 2 points, but 39 to 304 is a one hell of... it's a bit of a mountain to climb. It's definitely a bit of a mountain to climb here, to be honest. And now that blue team's got a regroup, they've kind of reset the momentum back to neutral here. But when they had all those deaths, of course, red team were very much in the driving seat. But now blue team basically fully reset themselves and said, you know what, we're really ahead. We just chill out a little bit. And now they're back in. And if they can just keep doing what they were doing at the start by winning these fights, it's going to be good. But actually, if they lose the fight, then things could definitely change. As Azaz does get caught and immediately destroyed. Red team getting some good fights there, of course. Like the Catalyst is able to contribute quite nicely in these larger engagements. And blue team, they need to be careful. They need to be careful not to overcommit into some of these fights that they are not going to be winning.
Grabbed a capture point.
Need to watch out for that one. Blue team getting the note. Red team also doing the same thing. The issue for red team here is that they have to kind of do something that's almost impossible. They essentially need to triple cap their opponents and hold it for a very long time and win every single Bell objective simultaneously. That is very much easier said than done from their position. It is very uncommon to see a game at this kind of skill level where you have a comeback like this happen. Very, very uncommon indeed. Catalyst actually getting a little bit beaten down here. And this is, yeah, I think we actually saw this the last time we saw Catalyst, is that Catalyst was just not able to contend with the other duelist specs in the game, whether that be Untamed or indeed a Berserker. I think this is going to be slightly problematic, I think, for Red Team to deal with this, is I think this Berserker is going to be a little bit unanswered. Now we have the objective coming up here with the Bell. Blue team getting into the mix. Azza's already in position to actually contest. The Reaper taking very heavy damage, is isolated from the support. The support now moves in to respond. But actually, Necromancer forced to go in Shroud very early here. Does get healed, gets their own heal skill off there as well. Super speeds away, tries to get to freedom. We might have to take that port back, and they actually do get a kill on the Deadeye, actually. So the Reaper was very effective bait there. Takes the port back. Will now be able to be supported a little bit by the Chronomancer. Has full Shroud as well. Blue team actually stumbling a little bit here, actually, in this situation. A little bit of a stumble. And the Catalyst actually doing pretty damn well here, too. In this matchup. Is having a little bit of difficulty, though. Yeah, the Warriors sustain and that consistent condition damage output. Quite annoying for the Elementalist to deal with. Azaz goes ahead and dies over here. 2 cap for red. The problem is, I'm not sure if that's really quite good enough. I think that's the problem we're going to run into here. They kind of have to be pressuring this third node as well. 1 node for blue is just so much pressure at this stage of the game. And red needs to resolve this Bell fast too. Blue's doing a good job of stalling this. This is forcing 2 players from the red team to stay here for a long time. They don't want to be here. They want to be out on the map. They want to be pressuring middle. They want to be securing these caps on these side nodes at the same time. And they're forced to not do that. And that's allowing stuff like the Blue Thief to get a lot of value here as well. Able to get this neutralization, maybe even going for the full cap. Zintrex moving to get the intercept. That will probably prompt the Thief to piss off, I think. Won't want to waste too much time. But actually, the Blue Reaper is also moving in at the same time. Being chased down a little bit, though, by Erazik as well. So that's going to kind of fizzle that fight out a little bit here, I think. It's going to be Zintrex, yeah, just having to deal with this Thief. Thief will probably leave, I think. Maybe Draza will go for the 1v1 here as well. Of course, Deadeye definitely capable of doing that, and it will be very annoying to deal with. It's going to stall the capture here for a good chunk of time, actually, is this Thief, which is really not what the red team wants. The fight might be moving over here anyway, actually, as we see a lot of team members here kind of circling around the middle here from both the red and the blue team. Warrior grabbing that there as well for blue. And yeah, I think it's honestly a really cool comeback attempt here by red. Some big wins here in the mid game, but they aren't quite able to convert it into the full snowball that they need to actually get enough momentum to come back in this game, I think. Blue just holding 1 or 2 nodes, bleeding their opponents out more or less at this point, and that's kind of what we see here. Az is now in position. The Warrior of Zing just got driven away by Azaz and the combination of this Deadeye here from the Thief. Another Bell is coming up in 30 seconds too. We already have Tak Necro in position, ready to go for this capture. And yeah, like this is Blue will immediately win the game if they're able to capture this, so there has to be a contest here from the red team. They cannot give this objective up whatsoever. Portal being placed to actually ferry a Necro in, because it's kind of difficult to coordinate that. That would have been a really cute play, but sadly the Necromancer ignored. Didn't go for it, go for the dank play. In fact, red team in a little bit of trouble here. Tak Necro forced to drop down. Might not be able to get back up there in time to actually contest this. Not safely anyway. 16 bleed sacks. You can see how much pressure that Necromancer can apply if it's allowed to get the connection. And red team getting that Bell, that's going to be 50 points. But again, 5 minutes on the clock. I'm just not sure it's enough. And Zintrex valiantly holding this 1v2 was not able to do it. Catalyst also falls over here to the Warrior at the same time. And a very, very respectable effort by the red team. Certainly a very exciting mid-game, as you can see here. Kind of after the 4th minute, things started heating up a little bit, but I think it's not going to be enough. It's 25 points until the end of the game, and I think red team, they're going to have to slightly recalibrate their strategy if they want to actually pose a threat to the blue team. Such a powerful and strong opener, and I think that is something that you really do see, actually, in the very high-level teams, is that they understand the early game very well. They always have a very big plan, right? Like, the early game of Conquest can be highly complex, and I think a lot of teams can just get lost, especially less organized or more pug-style teams can be very, very lost in the source when it comes to the open and how you actually approach the rotations in the very start of the game, and that was where the advantage for blue team was just unbelievably staggering, as you can see there. Kill after kill after kill, nothing on the board for red. Just a very solid opener, leading into a slightly shaky mid-game, but they were able just to cleanly win the game there as well at the end of the day. But there you have it. Whoa, we have a close game here. Let's have a look at this. Yeah. What's going on here? Ica Blackheart. Core Guardian, DPS, I think. Red team with a double cap. Blue team, 410 points. Umbra Ragnarok. Nephilim Ragnaroic. Epic account name there. Love to see that. Red team, though, getting the decaptures. Blue with Nandel nearly neutralizing middle. Not quite able to do it. Red grabbing the dock as well. Is there a contest? There actually is not. This is a huge play here by the red team. But hang on. The red team is dying. Core Guardian and Thief and Dragon to all dying. Is blue going to be able to actually push the nodes here? They need to move. They want to get this dock. They kind of want to be there right now. Tempest probably isn't going to be able to hold for very long here as well. Does still have the Reflect and a Water Overload available. So a little bit of healing, but the pressure from the blue team should be far too much, I think, for this Tempest to hold on for much longer. The blue Thief is able to make it over here and go for this capture on the docks. Is the Guardian going to be able to get the intercept in time? Yes, they are. The red team is back in business. The Bell is up, actually, and that makes things really spicy. Let's see. Is this an instant win if blue team gets this? I believe it actually is. They have had a Bell before, so both teams need to contest this. Both team has actually received the Bell. They have to get this. Meanwhile, red team trying to hold on to middle here is the Chronomancer. Not able to do that, though. Falls. Probably not the player. Need to get over to this team fight here to secure the Bell for the team, but red team are still kind of winning the game here. If they actually stall this Bell, they do win. Can they make that happen? That's the big question here. Are they going to go for a revive here on middle? I don't think they are. It's not going to happen, or on the Bell, rather. They're not going for it. Can they just hold on? But no, it doesn't matter, as the Thief very smartly actually does go for the neutralization, does go for the decap, denying any of that point gain here. Red team getting cleaned up here. Oh, I think blue team has actually just barely clutched this out. What a bloody game. It's just kill after kill after kill. Everyone's dead right now. For the red team, a complete cleanup. And blue, they have made it happen, actually. Blue team has made it happen. Securing the 502 victory. We love to see that. An epic game there. An epic end. That was actually the slowest game. Wow. The games are fast today. Nobody is hanging about. It is just game, 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 game. Absolutely merciless matches here in PvP currently. No Necro, no win? Yeah, apparently so. Was playing it. What are these names? What is going on here? What is the situation? Why do people do this to deliberately confuse me? I don't know. Doesn't matter. But anyway, here, we actually have a Dragon Hunter here on the red team. Frankie Four Eyes. Voodoo. Deadeye. Zealith. Core Guardian. Still Core Guardian. Very interesting. Very interesting. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there's any particular reason why this is being played. But, I mean, I guess we'll find out. And Josh not playing. Wait, isn't Josh the guy who has the Reaper called You Are Delusional? Kind of sad to not see that. And we have a Core Guardian here as well. Okay, this is a very interesting composition from the red team. We are seeing a relog now. Yeah, I'm seeing the relog now from the red team. Let's see what's going on. I mean, Dragon Hunter, Relic of the Defender as well. Oh, look at that, 5% heal. Whenever you land a block, the Marauder Amulet. Of course, we did see Dragon Hunter do pretty well, actually, and I think the last monthly. I think that was being played by a Spree, right? That worked out well on the Temple of the Sandstorm. The Deadeye, of course. Ah, we have the Untamed. Okay, so it's not going to be a random Core Guardian, second Core Guardian. It's going to be only one Core Guardian this time around. You know, I think 2 would be ridiculous.
Hold on to your points. Seize theirs.
Yes. Let's see what we've got. Sagebrand Wen. Look, do we really want Sagebrand back in the game? It was a fun build to play, but it was also, I think, one of the most obnoxious builds to ever exist. Well, maybe it's not that bad, actually, but it was pretty bad. Regardless of that, we have the French team here on the blue team. It's full French, full gaming. We love to see it. Here they are, and again, we already have this kind of a 3-node style coming out for them. We go for a push over here, intercepting, denying that while capturing their own node. Azaz does fall on middle, though, actually. Gets picked up there by the Deadeye. No potential to revive. It's kind of an interesting thing about the current metagame, actually, is that there's not much revive potential unless you're playing Core Guard with Signet of Mercy. But, of course, Chronomancer does not have a Signet of Mercy equivalent, so you can't really res super well. Feedback and, of course, stuff like Time Warp can be really useful. You can kind of use them as pseudo-revive tools because of just, you know, being able to deny pressure and deny cleave on your opponents. But can lead to some very volatile encounters. They are able to actually trade, though, as is already off respawn. In fact, the Untamed was picked up by the blue team during all of that chaos. The fight's still raging here on middle, actually. Red team getting the better of it, though, actually. Able to actually get the node. Blue team now looking to neutralize it. They are successfully able to do that. So far, the fight just kind of continues here. Dragon Hunter just doing something. Oh, that's a massive hit, actually, onto the Soul Beast of blue team. Guys, Dragon Hunter's actually OP. What can we say? Nice little barrier there. Not utilizing the portal to pull that player over. But blue just kind of stalling this out. Ooh, Necro maybe, though, stalling a little bit too much. Gets blown up by the Dragon Hunter and the Reaper. That's going to be sending them back to respawn. But red, again, they have failed to actually control the map here. They have not been able to get nodes. Blink available from Chrono should be able to get them out of harm's way mostly. Still have Signet of Illusions as well, so good cooldowns available here. Like, can reload all these shatters if it is necessary. So yeah, the Chrono should be able to re-engage pretty okay here, I think, to help out Draza, who is this time going to be on the Berserker. Oh, hang on a minute. Not quite enough, though, actually. Draza attempting a 1v4. Oh, the portal was nearly landed there, but not quite in time. So red team, they've got to find their footing here, though. Like, I feel like... I don't... What is going on here? Red team, they're getting run around a little bit. Like, they're able to get these kills, but blue team is standing on the points, and red team kind of isn't. And that might be something to do with the composition, of course. It is a slightly unconventional setup here, and you can see they pick up another kill on Azaz, and now they have actually solidified their hold over on the windmill, getting rid of Draza, now rid of Azaz. They should be able to hold that for a while. Maybe they can convert this into a big fight on middle. Yeah, it looks like they are going to be able to. They're pushing away the Soul Beast tip. Not able to hold on to this, so let's see if red can solidify this. Here we go. And let's see what red team wants to do next, actually. Are they going to play defensively, or do they want to keep pushing the map? Looks like they are going to be playing defensively here, actually. I think that kind of makes sense on this map on Kylo, to be honest. They've been doing pretty well in these fights. They have the Deadeye. The Deadeye can very easily go and pressure this node, and you only need 2 to win the game. 70 points now to 89. And actually, the blue team Chrono, not in a good spot, actually. This is not where blue team Chrono needs to be right now. Does have feedback, and that will be really useful, because I think that will be applying super speed. Yep, there you go. There's the super speed. Able to wriggle away. You can see how fast you are with super speed. Able to just literally run away from things. Bit of a hold W situation. Fight starting up on middle, but blue team is split. The Chronomancer was isolated from the Necromancer. Ooh, a bit of a fumble here, I feel like, actually, from the blue team in the middle game. Slightly uncharacteristic, I want to say. There a little bit of a fumble. And Red actually taking the advantage. They found their footing after the kind of initial scuffle. Deadeye does get picked off, though. Look at that Deadeye downstate health. It just just literally dies instantly. It's always funny to see that happen, to be honest with you. But Draz is dead as well, so players being traded off across the map. And Red Team just trying to do the thing. They're trying to decap that far node, hold on to middle. They've got the teamfight presence, that Dragon Hunter combined with that Necromancer. They have that DPS output. And Core Guard, you know, it's still good in these situations. It's still very, very robust in these team fights. It's got that stability application, a lot of stability, a lot of healing throughput that isn't it kind of enabling it to stand firm pretty well here. I think Chronomancer would also be capable of doing the same thing, and there's no revival here for Azaz either. Bear that in mind, right? Like, Azaz just gets annihilated. I think Red Team have kind of found their strength here. Blue Team is going to have to find a way to kind of rotate around this, I feel like. And maybe this is the problem of having no Thief. You've got to bear in mind, there's no Thief right now on the Blue Team. Which is very unusual, to be honest. Of course, this is a map that is very linear. You can kind of bunker this map down in a way and just stand there, and, you know, you don't necessarily need that level of mobility. But Thief is just so fantastic for forcing bad rotations from your opponent. Like, even on this map, I'd kind of expect to see it all the time because of how powerful it is. And Red Team just able to get the best of these encounters and just kind of force their opponents to fight them on their terms over and over again. Blue Team need to come up with an idea here. They need to figure out what they're going to do. Yeah, the Untamed goes for it, but again, just gets picked off. Yet again, Untamed combined with the Dragon Hunter actually putting in the work over here. In fact, able to rotate into the team fight. And Blue've got nothing. Necromancer goes down, was already so low. No revival, no support available. Az is having to run away here as well. I mean, Blue Team, their aggression has been completely blunted. They have nothing. They're going to have to come up with an idea here. Draza going for a push again, but that hasn't actually been working super well right now. Will already be intercepted by the Untamed. Might actually get the decap. Ooh, the Untamed just barely stands on the node at the same time. And of course, there's no +1 available here, so this will just be a clean 1v1. At least for a good chunk of this matchup, of course. But Red Team is pressing their advantage. Now they feel comfortable to go for a push after getting a really brutal cleanup, getting another kill onto Azaz. Azaz being a really big focus for the Red Team, actually. Really been trying to eliminate that Vindicator from the match consistently throughout this entire situation. Now, Draza does get a big win here. Able to win into the Untamed, secures this node. That's what we need to see here. That's going to force a response from Red Team. But honestly, we might just see them actually maybe even play a little bit more middle and far here. Looks like that might be the play. No, they're going back towards middle. Looks like they are probably going to send a response over there at some point. Ooh, Dragon Hunter getting caught a little bit. Does have renewed focus, though. And here comes the support there from the Core Guardian. There it is. Good disengages from Red. They're just trying to defuse this fight until they can actually engage it on their terms. The Necro in trouble. Drops down there to the Guardian, though. Tries to kite away. They're in a bit of a vulnerable position, but Blue Team not quite able to capitalize on that. And massive damage coming out from the Dragon Hunter. The Dragon Hunter is absolutely blasting right now, actually. In all of these fights, just doing so much DPS. Combined with that Reaper, it looks like it's a little bit too much. And this is not good for Blue. Blue can't fight there. You can't fight there. No, they absolutely can't. Not able to, kind of getting caught there. Too much snares for Blue Team to disengage correctly. And Red just kind of completely dominating every single one of these team fights. Necro will be falling here. Chronomancer falls too. And yeah, Draza and Azaz have managed to get a disengage. Azaz trying to go for the decap, but is being intercepted by the Dragon Hunter here, actually. And yeah, there's going to be the Deadeye coming in, of course, as well. And that's just not going to work. Yeah, boom! There's the Dragon Hunter. Lands the pull. Straight through there, annihilating the Vindicator. And of course, they do have the plus, well, the respawn, rather. It's going to be the Soulbees coming back into the mix here from the Blue Team. But there's just too many players from Red for that to really do anything. Yes, Defender Relic on the Dragon Hunter, for those who are interested, for a bit of extra sustain, basically. Lots of blocks to be had, of course, especially with the F3. Draza beginning this 1v1. I think, did do well in this last time, but the Deadeye is on it, and that's going to deny this clean 1v1. It's not being respected. And look at this Deadeye damage output. This Berserker is in a lot of trouble. I'm kind of expecting to see maybe the Thief being played by Draza if this team actually ends up in a rematch, because I think playing Thiefless here did not work out well for the Blue Team whatsoever, in addition to just an incredibly strong team fight. The combination of this Core Guardian, the Dragon Hunter, and the Necromancer, just a little bit too much for the blue team's comp. Like, the Vindicator not able to live, not able to pressure this stuff super effectively in these team fights. Just the AoE, the area denial of the Dragon Hunter, really putting in a lot of work. Definitely good on this map. It's a pretty tight map with a lot of corridors you can force your opponents into, and we really saw the meat grinder here, right? Like on these stairs in particular, that's where the Dragon Hunter can really shine, utilizing Procession of Blades and Test of Faith. How about that? Now that really is fun. Now red team had a bit of trouble though. The Necromancer, it does get a really good spectral back actually, and then immediately converts it into a kill on the blue Necromancer. No revive potential there, and the Reaper stands firm, has a heal skill in a couple of seconds. Guardian resustaining very nicely. We're just going to see more kills here, and that's actually well, we're not going to see more kills because that is the end of the game. Wow, brutal. That was an exciting game, very exciting game there actually from Red. A bit of a shaky start, and you know it did take a little bit of time for Red team to get their solidity, their solid hold on the map, but once they had it, they were just deflecting and parrying all of the aggression from blue left and right and completely shut it down with their strategy. Will be very interesting to actually see what blue team does. Blue team is a team of very experienced players. They're going to be able to adapt on the fly. They're going to be able to come up with something new, but they're going to have to. It might be a composition swap. It might be a strategic decision they're going to be making, but they're going to have to come up with something to defeat that team, because to be frank, that wasn't close. That was a massacre in favor of Red there. That was an absolute massacre. Impressive. Very impressive. Let's see what else have we got going on. Man, look how fast these games are. It is a complete slaughter in all of these rounds. By the way, thanks for the Prime sub, XCX Zoo. And of course, thanks for the raid, Rodent Pirate. Very kind of you. Oh, look at that. We got Pogchomp. Very nice. Okay, ooh, we have got ourselves a match on a Razor's Edge as well. 1 point apiece. Ooh, the Spectre in trouble though. Port Tapper gets pulled back in. Dies on node. Knew they weren't getting out of that. Good play. Forces the immediate stomp from the opponents. That's going to neutralize it and give some more points to blue, but blue actually losing their own player. Or 2% HP on this warrior. They're just barely able to kill this Reaper. The Reaper going for the self-res. Oh, yeah, you don't know. Don't do it. Don't self-res. This is not the time. Kind of a bit of a classic mistake here. Just basically delays their own respawn here, essentially, at this stage of the game. Not what you want to be doing right now. And red team, of course, securing that node after getting that kill. Oh, there is actually the Ranger coming in. Wait, is this a Druid? It is a Druid. Is there? Oh no! Oh, hang on! The Selfres! Is the Selfres actually the Giga Chad play? We have the Glyph of Stars. You've got to be kidding me! No way! The self-res actually pays off massively. Could this be what blue team needs? The Reaper is back in the mix. There's no way this actually carries the game. I don't believe it. The Warrior is actually getting chunked right now by that Reaper. Why is the Druid not helping? Like, maybe the... Okay. Ah! Okay. Well, never mind. Goes for the res again. Does have Signet of Stone, so might be able to find it, actually. Is able to find it. Like, I feel like they should either... What do they want to do? Do they want to take the fight or go on the node? Looks like they're not really sure about that. But regardless... The Druid now go back in for the contest. It's exactly even on the points. Ah, yeah, Druid's in a bit pressure. Does have the Signet of Renewal, but the pet was dead, so the transfer didn't work. Oh, no. All the Connies still applied. Hodel coming in there with the Reaper for the immediate kill. Warrior secures his node. Blue team in a little bit of trouble. Can they get middle, though? Actually, I think they can. I don't think red team can respond to this in time. They have their engineers still holding this position over here, actually. And we also have Narcissistic. Well, you know, a warrior main who's at least honest. I respect it. With the staff, they should be able to hold this 2v2, maybe even winning it, actually, as they have their opponent very pressured. The Holdsmith, though, in a little bit of trouble. Who's going to go down first here? There's no revive available for either, actually. Who's going to get the cleave here? Looks like, do we have a Shadow Step Stomp, maybe, from the... Yeah, we do. We do have a Shadow Step Stomp available here from the Spectre. So this Warrior's going to have to hold the 1v2. Could be winning the game here. Meanwhile, we actually have blue team dying here in middle. Chronomancer in a little bit of trouble. That's going to be neutral at best. Reaper, I don't think can effectively hold this, to be perfectly honest. He maybe might be able to stall it a little bit. Can we see a 1v1 victory over here? Maybe from the Druid? No, nowhere near enough damage to get through the Berserker, I think. We now have the respawn from the Holosmith. This could lead to a decapture situation. Blue team getting reinforced, actually. The Warrior was able to hold, actually, quite nicely against the red team. But now, of course, red team will be creeping into the lead. We need to see nodes here coming through now. We have the support of respawn. We need some damage here instantaneously. Red team are a little bit slow to rotate. This actually might allow a neutralization to come through here from the blue team, but they're going to need the full cap. We also have the Tempest here, which will slow down this fight a lot. There's the neutralization. Bear in mind, if blue team caps this node, they can still win the game, but they do need to capture or at least get some kills to get back into the advantage position here. They're going to try to decapture middle, and actually with the holo, they're going to get that as well. Again, blue team a little bit slow on the rotations. There's the kill there. They need to get this decap. They've got to kill this quickly. They do not have time to spare here. Spectre trying to hold, but that's not going to work. I don't think that this is way too late for this. Spectre will die almost immediately, I think. Does have some evasion here. We have a bit of reinforcements coming in from the Virtuoso, but it's a little bit too late in my opinion. Here comes the kill though. Actually does manage to get a massive burst, but again, does not have the... Has the... No. That was such a clutch stomp there, actually, from the Virtuoso. The holo dying there was so brutal into the immediate stealth zone. That was actually good. Okay. Oh, no. The holo dying there was unbelievably tragic. I think red team might have won anyway, actually. But yeah, very chaotic game there. Absolute insanity towards the end. That was an esports moment. Yeah, that was definitely an esports moment. Incredible. Insane. Whales. Nails, whales, snails. Are there any snails in Guild Wars 2? I don't think there are, right? Not actual NPCs. Incredible. Yeah, but that's not an actual NPC, though, is it? That's bait for fishing. It's not the same thing as an actual snail in game. Okay, let's move on. Are any of the... Fly versus Intrex, I think, is going to be the match. Let's go... Skyhammer. This could be a fairly interesting map.
The match starts soon.
Double Vindicator versus only one Vindicator. Will one Vindicator be better than two? Let's find out. Yeah, Snail Boss and Wing 8. I mean, that would be content. Look, I like bosses when they're a little bit silly. I think having stuff like, you know, if a boss is a giant crab or a slug, I think that's pretty funny.
Hold on to your points. Seize
all right, here we go. Do want to point out this guy's name is Dark Cosmic Jin, which is, you know, so he's role-playing with his gizmo, right? I like it. Very proud of the comment. I respect it. Okay, we have the Thief actually capping point A, while we have the Druid pushing over to intercept the Warrior immediately. So, blue team going to have to play pretty safe on middle here. At least for the time being. Need to chill until their reinforcements arrive. But red team actually were able to get that node. I'm not sure if the blue Druid is going to be happy about this, because I'm not sure if the Druid is going to actually have the pressure to kind of get rid of this Warrior. Of course, this is the Condi Druid. Actually, maybe, yeah, this is the Condi Druid, so there is going to be some DPS here, but will be take a while to resolve, that's for sure. The Rotator immediately does rotate in, though, just allowing that team fight on mill just to get stalled, at least for the time being. We do have a reinforcement moving in there. It's going to be Erozik moving in to help out. He gets a big burst immediately onto the Rotator and should be able to stabilize this matchup pretty well. Vindicator also quite interesting in that it has a little bit of support that it can actually throw over to its allies as well. And Zintrex stands very firm, actually, and red team able to actually secure middle. So a good start here for the red team. The push from the blue team did not really work out in their favor whatsoever, and they were able to hold the team fight, as you might expect given the opener, pretty nicely. Now we do have blue team starting to move in here. They said, well, you know what? That didn't really work out. Let's have a big 4v4 on middle. They're going for the Necromancer immediately. Not quite able to finish the job, though. Some good kiting here. Now the heal score comes through, so Reaper able to re-engage just as Gornet goes down. Yeah, the Cleavish should be good from the Reaper. I think this revive is not going to happen. Absolutely not. There we go. Kill comes through, and Capablanca also falling, and red team, they hold firm. Very classic opener. Just play two nodes, you know. We love to see it. They hold firm, deny their opponent's push, and they're good to go. Still bleeding out the Revenant over here as respawns start to come through. And blue, the ball is kind of in their court now. They're going to have to try and do something. But yeah, this push on the Zintrax, like, he is the immovable object. He's not going anywhere. Like, they have not been able to get rid of him just yet. The Druid's still trying to be as annoying as possible here. Of course, difficult to kill is the Druid, but with the Vindicator and the Warrior, that could potentially change. Very high mobility, though, that sword weapon set. From the Druid, able to wriggle away quite nicely. Not getting anything done just yet, but also not a crazy amount happening on the map right now. Red team even able to actually find the time to get a decap as well. No Thief being played here as well by Red team, guys. Bear that in mind. There's no Thief. And that's not a crazy surprise to see them play a little bit more defensively. Like, you know, if you do, it's much harder to play 3 nodes. I think impossible actually to play 3 nodes against a Thief if you don't have a Thief of your own. Maybe you can do 3 nodes if it's like a giga bunker meta and you can have a bunker sitting on every single node, but that's not the case right now, thank goodness. Zintrax is starting to get a little bit low here, but actually is able to hold quite nicely. Has his heal skill pretty soon, does have a block. No shield on this build, of course. Has the sword offhand instead, so does end up going down state there. Could the red team maybe get in here and help this? I don't think so. Especially poison from the Druid is going to make this very difficult to get any kind of revival action here whatsoever. Chronomancer now moving into the mix. Ooh, Rotator gets caught actually, disengaging away from that +1. Immediately getting killed there. The other Vindicator picking up that kill, and blue team not able to get that much done on the map here. Not just yet, actually. Ooh, maybe a slightly scuffed situation there. Like, red team going for the reinforce, but a little bit of a clumsy rotation there. Reaper goes in maybe a little bit too soon. Immediately gets eviscerated by the blue team. Not ideal. And all of a sudden, the red team is a little bit fragmented here. They're a bit discombobulated. They're going to have to try and just stall, hold these fights until they're able to regroup. Ooh, the Daredevil looking for a pick here onto Erzik. We do have the block available, so I think Erzik should be okay there. Oh! Yeah, watch out for Eternity's Requiem. That's a fun ability to get hit by. Pretty big damage there. It looks like red team trying to re-engage. Ooh, Erzik gets fully caught off though here. He's been dropped down. This is very bad for him. I don't think there's no way out here. Absolutely not, yeah. And instantly killed there just as the Reaper comes back. That's not good. That's the kind of thing that blue team needs. That's what blue team needs here. Getting a kill, keeping the map state as a 45. They need to make sure Erzik doesn't get revived here, actually. Well, yeah, I guess the Reaper's not even going to try. Honestly, I respect it. If someone goes in down state, maybe they just shouldn't have done that. Do they deserve to be revived? I don't think so. Skyhammer now in play. Blue team, of course, having 3 players here, denying that almost immediately. Erzik going to be on respawn very, very soon. Chronomancer kind of milling around here. Blue team, I mean, I guess like the Skyhammer is not really that relevant for either of the teams right now. I think both teams just want that objective off the map. Yeah, red team just concedes that they're not going to be fighting over anything. No node is captured anyway. Just a little bit of pressure. Red team picking up point C here. Still maintaining their advantage. Gornet gets caught here. Big immobilizers coming through. Does have full shroud, but very low HP. We're going to have to see immediate healing from the Chronomancer as soon as Gornet's going to drop shroud. There's the drop shroud, yeah. Healing coming through. Nice team play there, actually. We see the Saint Victor abilities being used there to actually heal the Necromancer a bit too. And Erzik exploded in between nodes there. A little bit caught out of position trying to get back into this fight. And blue team, I mean, I feel like they're kind of winning right now. I feel like they're kind of winning this game. Yeah, another Vindicator gets picked off. Can they now secure this node and get rid of Zintrax's hold on it? Let's see if they can make that happen. They're going to be outnumbering 4-3 here while their Thief is capping the rest of the map. Do they get any more, though? They really want to get rid of this Chronomancer or this Warrior, I think. Chrono might be the target here. Gets a good blink to disengage, but what the cooldown's looking like, actually. Ooh, not much going on here. Distort is in 1 second, but that chill. Oh, yeah, chill. Preventing it from coming back off cooldown just in the nick of time. Blue team actually picking up the Skyhammer as well. Going to prevent anything going on there and drive the opponents away there. And blue now have both nodes. Zintrax going for a push over to point A. Will be intercepted by the Rotator at the same time. Of course, Daredevil can actually be highly competent in 1v1 matchups, as you can see here. Funnily enough, it can do really well against Warrior, of course, because Warrior is susceptible to blinds. A little bit less so these days, though, actually, because, of course, Warrior does have some, you know, some options. This trait in particular, resilient role giving you resistance. Very nice against blind. which is definitely a big weakness of Warrior, is that if you get blinded, it feels incredibly bad. But Blue, kind of crawling back into this game now. They are crawling. They're back in. Blue Druid, though, does get taken out. Right as I say they're crawling back into the game, they stubbed their toe, and now they're not crawling anymore. Gauntlet wriggling away. Chronomancer's here. And good disengage as well. Only losing one player. Not the end of the world, I think, for the blue team. Still in a good position. Looks like the Thief is going to be sent to deal with point A. Zintrex in a little bit of trouble, but leaps back to the support and is pretty much good to go. Let's see what the target's going to be here. I think we're going to be seeing focus onto the Chronomancer, onto the Necromancer potentially as well. But meanwhile, it's the Vindicator for blue that's in a whole lot of trouble there. Capablanca desperately trying to evade 60 HP. The condition ticks him. Tick. And that's going to be a bit of a setback here for blue. They do have their Druid back now. Might need to actually just use the Druid just to hold on a little bit and disperse this main fight. They're not in a position to engage right now without that Vindicator. Tick. Druid makes it to middle. And again, that means not the worst loss for blue, right? They've been doing a good job of mitigating their losses here. They haven't really been giving away multiple kills. They haven't been giving away multiple nodes for a single kill, which is exactly what you want to see. Both teams back to full strength, now with blue having a very slight advantage over their opponents. Druid getting 2v1'd here, but here comes the support, and that should be easily enough to hold on to that, especially now with Capablanca moving in. That all of a sudden turns the tables here. This could be very dangerous for Erzik. Is Erzik going to fall here? I think he may well do that. Erzik is going to go down, and actually the Chronomancer was taking the brunt of that attack as well, trying to go for support, and the Reaper. Oh, a brutal fight here, actually. Wow, the Hunter became the Hunted. They thought they were getting a little bit of a 2v1 gank onto the Druid, but in fact, the Druid was bait, and that can be a good use of builds that are like this, kind of like your slightly, you know, very tanky builds that are able to hold these outnumbered. If you get a little bit too overconfident, you can get punished for it, and that's exactly what happened to Red. Oh, wow. This is a brutal slam now. Those 3 kills snowballed into another kill onto Zintrex. This should give the Skyhammer for free for the Druid, and of course lead to point C being neutralized. I don't think Red Team can hold on to this. They're going to be, it's going to be a long time before they can actually regroup, by the way. Zintrex is just now dying, which is quite bad, actually. Another 15 seconds before the Red Team has 5 players. Directly engaging here is going to be very, very rough, especially seeing as one of their Vindicators is already getting a little bit pressured here, trying to kind of stall the blue team a little bit. Wait, Erzik runs in and feeds. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a bit unfortunate. And now a triple cap for blue team. And they've got a very solid position here as well. On Skyhammer, again, it is a bit of a slower map. It can be quite difficult to dislodge your opponents. They're just going to go for an all-out fight. All players are now back in action on both teams, but the Reaper for a red team is already getting battered a little bit. The Druid is kind of watching the nodes there. We'll have to get into this fight to make it an even 5v5. Capablanca, the other Vindicator on blue team, also being focused very, very hard. Reaper in a little bit of trouble, though, actually. Is forced to disengage. Looks like Capablanca is going to go for the pursuit here, potentially. Yep, wants to try and fit. Oh, yep, gets trolled there by the little Skyhammer pad. Unlucky. Chronomancer of blue getting focused very heavily. Has burned every single cooldown, actually. Is in a huge amount of trouble. Tries to hold on. Needs support from the team, though. And actually, Red Vindicator secures that kill instantaneously. Looks like this could be a big win in favor of the red team. That double Vindicator delivering the damage that they need to win this team fight. Gauntlet now falling as well. Capablanca falling. Ooh, it might be a full wipe here. If the Druid survives, this is honestly maybe okay because they can still keep pressure on the map. But actually, if the Druid dies, it's going to be a little bit rough. But it might be too little too late here, I think. Well, maybe not too little, but certainly too late. As blue team are now up to nearly 450 points with only 4 minutes left. They actually still holding this node too as well. The Rotator doing a good job at just holding this. We'll be able to stand on this node and just at least annoy Zintrex for a little bit here. Very, very low, actually. He needs to be careful not to die, of course. But actually is able to survive quite nicely. And red team, they know they kind of have to play very aggressively here. They're going for an immediate decap, which I think is correct if they want to try and win. They need to keep getting kills. They need to keep the blue team on the back foot if they want to make a comeback here. They might be able to. They get the Chronomancer. Okay, that's actually definitely a step on the long road to recovering this game. But they need a triple cap. They need a triple cap here. They absolutely do.
Charging the laser.
Impressive blood-boying pyramid by Vivi, actually. He actually nearly got it. He missed it by 2. Impressive. And red team, they're trying to make it happen. Thief pushing the Vindicator, but yeah, the Rotator going to be shoved away there by that. And now, red team securing this node as well. They have their warrior in position. And middle is neutral, but they kind of need more than this. They need to get rid of this druid. And they need to get this node. Do they win in 3 minutes? 3 minutes is 180 seconds. With it, yeah, no, they don't. They do not win with a double cap. They must get a triple cap. Oh, actually, no, they do win. I lied. They do win on a triple cap. I know how numbers work. Double cap is enough. Assuming the blue team doesn't get any more points. They will actually get to 500 points, in fact, if they're able to hold this map state. Can they make it happen? Zintrex actually holding this 1v2 is insanely important. He needs to not die here. Yeah, is going to be driven away, though. Oh, yeah, that Reaper shout landing through the terrain. Oh! Yeah, that is very unfortunate. Yeah, Zintrex was kind of between a rock and a hard place there. Couldn't really disengage over here. Would have immediately got picked off. Kind of had to stay here, but really, you know, was going to die if he stayed there as well. So very unfortunate. The Rotator going for the stomp. Do we actually see could we see an attempted revival here? No, certainly don't think so. It's going to be having to trying to kill Gornet and Fly after we see the deaths come through. Ooh, this is really spicy. Gornet actually goes down here. Erozik finds that kill immediately. They're going for the revival. That feedback is really powerful there. The resistance is going to be big. It's denying some of the damage, but it's not enough actually. As Capablanca goes down, I don't believe this is actually an insane comeback here. We have Ultra Scuff starting to fall here. Capablanca goes down, and Mamaya's also. Gornet in trouble. He's going to go for the node, but he's dead. Knows he's dead. Just dies on the node to make them kill him quicker. To go for the respawn. I think we are seeing a fully successful comeback here from the red team. This is going to be a big one. No respawns for 10 seconds here from the blue team. Oh, Skyhammer would be really annoying, actually, if red team lose that. And they do lose a player here as we have the Druid and the Rotator in the mix here. Reaper's going to have to hold this. This is just so awkward right now. I think we need to see some Rotators away. Yeah, I like Zintrex leaving it. Needs to hold on to point C. Has got to be knowing that the Rotator's going for that. Yes, might be able to make it in time to deny. Does do it with the Rampage. I really like that. Very smart rotation there from the warrior. Has to hold on, but I think we can't afford to see many players committed here. This is where things are really, really scary, I think, for the red team. They've got to kill this druid quickly or rotate away immediately. The Croto's going to move away immediately. I like that. Needs to hold, needs to support the team so these nodes can be continuously held. Really doesn't want to give middle away to the blue team either. They succeeded not doing it. Erozik fighting for his life here on point A. Does have to concede the node, but now that Zintrex is here, will be able to actually take his foot off the gas pedal at least for a little while. It's 35 seconds in the match. If red team just gets ahead, they should be in a good position to win. They need to not give away kills, though. Kills are very relevant, as 5 points could easily shift the outcome of this match. Reaper trying to hold in a really scuffed matchup, honestly. Has to concede it now. Will be able to pull it away, but is replaced now by the Vindicator. Red team trying to lurk around. Blue team going for a cap, but that's not going to be good enough. They need 2 nodes and some kills. Well, awesome kills. 10 seconds left. I think red team has actually done it. I don't think it's possible for blue to win. What an insane comeback from both teams, honestly, right? Insane comeback from both teams, but red actually lock it in and get it done there. Wow, nerves of steel there from the red team. Wow. Very nicely played there. Very good rotations, I think, actually. Very good rotations from red, especially towards the end of that game. Some very clutch plays by Zintrex, I think, in it, trying to hold on to these very important, vital nodes. Very good. Impressive, impressive. Oh, let's see. Is there anything? Oh, there is another one going on. Wait, hang on. What's this? We actually have a team. Oh, hang on. Oh, I was wondering who this team was. Seriously, why can't people just pick their actual names? I was like, I thought Payne was playing in this AT. I've completely ignored him. What is this name, Enigma? Okay, we have first aid kit here on the Spectre. We have Enigma on Chronomancer. Payne, aka Kingslayer, here on the Daredevil, I believe. We have Caspi on Untamed, and we have Nezio on the Reaper. Not playing, I think Nezio plays on NA a lot, actually. Back to EU this time around. Interesting to see it, and I guess, you know, whoa, that's the end of the game. Never mind. Well, it was an intense match, but it's over now. But yeah, this is another team that is in contention and was able to defeat the lethal... I don't know what this team name is. I don't know what any of these names are. But you know that other team that played really well? They beat that team. Wow. Very exciting. That might be the end of that round, and I think we might be going to elimination. We absolutely are. We're going to be seeing this team, Enigma Pain team, going up against Ultra Scuffed. And that will maybe be followed up by the winner of Zintrex versus Slaugui, or whatever. We have Gur versus Insomnus. And Kill versus me. Yeah. Yes. Incredible. Yeah. Wait, what is this? What? Yeah. Yeah, Frankie Fora as his Syndrome, yes. Party time, just finished core. Hashtag Guild Wars 2. Hashtag Guild Wars. Yeah, we may well have French versus Syndra rematch. Oh, wait, we have French versus... Oh, yeah, in semis, yeah. We may see... Well, I mean, yeah, I think... I don't know this Insomnus team. I assume it's a pug. Yeah. Yep, it's a pug. So, this is going to be very favored towards blue. So, it's going to be blue team going through here as well. And I assume it will be similar here. You know, this is actually a very respectable team, but yeah, certainly not going to be favored. I think blue team is going to be very highly favored. We do see Draza on the Deadeye. I'm kind of expecting to see Draza on the Deadeye here in the competitive matches as well. I do think the lack of Thief was quite problematic for them on their Kylo game. So let's see what goes on there. And I think the really spicy match may well be this first aid kit. I really wish people would just use names, because I have no idea who some of these people are. But anyway, the match begins. On the red team, Ultra Scuffed, Vindicator, Druid, Chronomancer, Reaper, Daredevil. On the blue team, it's Nezio, Reaper, Caspi, Untamed,
Like
Kingslayer, a Daredevil. We have the Chronomancer support from Enigma. Here he is. And we have the Spectre as well. We've seen all three flavors of Thief. Very exciting. Very, very exciting indeed. Blue team, off to a strong start though, actually. When I say strong, I mean they've captured an Odin. They're also successfully pressuring their opponents as well over there on the Dragon. How's the team fight going? Looks like blue team playing it pretty safe right now. Of course, they only have 2 players to commit to this fight right now, so extending massively is definitely not the play. The Rotator already under pressure, though, actually. Maybe looking for a kill, though, onto Nezio. Does Nezio know the Thief is here? Should do, actually. That should have been communicated to the team, actually, but needs to be a little bit careful. Blue team pushing very aggressively onto Gornet now. Gornet in a lot of trouble. Is the support from the Chronomancer going to be good enough? There is the Shroud available here. All over the place. But Gornet still getting chased down, actually. Support from the Chronomancer is going to be good enough. That super speed, very, very nice, actually. Capablanca moving in as well to defend the Necromancer. And boom! Lands it. There's so much damage on the Vindicator. That Greatsword burst is really, really massive, actually. No way that can be revived through as well, of course, on the blue team. And Gornet should be able to finish off Nezio here as well, especially with the assist of Capablanca. 2 kills now secured for red team. However, the Rotator in trouble. Druid going for this revival, but nah, I don't think so. Not against 2 DPS players. That's not going to happen. In fact, the Druid is in a lot of trouble as well, actually. Needs to hold on. No cooldowns, really. Needs to kite immediately. Very narrowly lost their life in this particular matchup, but we have Gornet moving in. Need to be careful of respawns, though we have the Necromancer and the Chronomancer coming back. So Gornet and the Druid need to watch out here. They need to not overcommit to this. As we have them slowly traversing the map. Looks like they're going to be going for middle, though. Not going into this fight. Red team are going to have to respond. Yep, we already see that response there by the Chronomancer and the Necromancer matching. It looks like the Druid is going to be left to kind of be annoying. Maybe the Rotator, the Thief, going to come in to help, actually. To try to deny this note, but team fight about to get started over here on middle. Here we go. It almost feels like the good old times. You know, Reaper in the team fight, guys. We'd love to see it. But actually, Nezio already getting a bit of a beating here in this fight. Gets ported away there by the Chronomancer. Love to see that rifle ability in effect here. And now Gornet is going to be the one under fire. But Capablanca consistently going after this Necromancer. Nezio not able to connect perhaps as well as he wants. And actually isolated a bit. Nice attempt at the juke there by Nezio. Didn't actually work, but does get completely forced away. And red team doing a good job in these fights. However, the blue team is handling these side nodes very, very well. Fly and the Druid are eliminated. The Untamed and, of course, the Daredevil, I believe, Just a huge amount of damage output here. It's a double thief setup here as well for the blue team. So very fast, very mobile. Certainly not as concerned with the team fight as red team is going to be. And a little bit lower damage output on some of these side node builds, I think, from red. And blue is able to capitalize on that.
Blue team has obtained an artifact.
And there you have it. Blue team holding firm. Nezio, again, kind of a bit of a punching bag for the red team. Another use of the portal, though. Look at that. Making Trig very happy, I think, to see the usage of this ability in such high prominence in this match. Nezio, though, getting beaten down. Chronomancer going to do his absolute best to keep this Necromancer alive. A bit of support is not coming in there. Ooh, the Shadow Portal there from Pain. Wow, we are teleporting everywhere. Going to get reported for hacking pretty soon, I think, if you saw that in your ranked game. But anyway, blue team a little bit separated. I think they want to disengage. They want to fizzle this fight. Fighting here is definitely not going to be the play. They've got the points advantage. They've just got to hold on. Ooh, that was a very weird Necromancer Shroud 2 there from Nezio. Some nice movement there, getting over to these logs, I guess, to climb up there. And Gordit just gets annihilated. Tries to get up there, but not everyone can do the Shroud 2 spin to climb up there. Utter annihilation onto the red Necromancer. And red team definitely in a little bit of trouble right now. Not able to really take the advantage of winning these fights that they were doing a good job of in the early game and turn that into something with the map. And yeah, blue team just kind of on a rampage, looking to pick up the Chronomancer. They're able to do it. And what can red team really do here, to be honest? They don't have many options. It's going to be a regroup. Both buffs as well. I mean, look, this is a thief map for a reason. Both buffs were secured now by the blue team, so that's more defense, more damage, and guaranteed stomps. I mean, this is not looking good whatsoever for the red team. They don't really have any plays that I think are actually good right now, except just wait for a respawn, try and get a regroup, and then take some of these fights. Because right now they're just getting picked off pretty much and completely bullied away from the nodes by their opponents. Some good play here from blue team, some good strategies, I think. Capablanca's going to go down, and yeah, I mean, I don't think red team can be affording to hemorrhage kills. They're going to have to do a miracle comeback if they want to win this game. Very much like we saw in the last matchup, but I think that's going to be very much easier said than done. It certainly wasn't easy on the Skyhammer match, and it's certainly not going to be easy here. I think it's also very hard to come back against a double thief comp as well, because those two thieves are just going to be incredibly annoying. Very, very annoying to deal with, I think. And will slow the map down. As soon as things start going badly for blue, they will simply deny rotations and deny any kind of momentum from the opponent. That's exactly what Thief is great at. Kingslayer is being chased on by the Rotator, and boom! The kill is landed. But look, the Spectre in stealth might be able to get this revival here. It's going to be tricky. Oh, yeah, the Time Warp comes down there from the red Chronomancer, but it's not going to be enough. And yeah, nice res by that Spectre. Very well played there by the blue Spectre here. Goes for the decap now and again. That aggression, that potential advantage gets blunted by the blue team. Now with a 200-point advantage. Yeah, this is tricky. Very, very tricky, I think. Red, they have now restabilized, though. All of their players are back, and the buffs are starting to... Well, the buffs are gone, but blue team just got them again.
Red team got a capture point.
The Rotator gets healed up, got pressured very heavily. Now wants to go for Nezio, I think, on this Reaper. Can he find the kill here? The support is good from the Mesmer, and the Time Warp comes down as well. Oh, so annoying. Leads to the death of the Rotator. The Necromancer pressure is too much. Capablanca also looking to fall here as well. Oh, that Reaper damage. Just absolutely merciless there from Nezio. All those shouts going off. The DPS is big. Looks like the res might come through onto Capablanca. It absolutely does, but I don't think it will onto the Rotator, that's for sure. And blue team, again, kind of just getting... Obviously, they probably would have preferred that to go a little bit cleaner than that, but... it's good enough. They'd love to have get that second kill, but getting one is certainly enough at this stage in the game for them. 109 to 361. This is not looking good. Revelation 1992 is going to be winning on NA. Rank 1 Legend on NA servers feels good, but I think this game is kind of all but over, if we're being completely honest here. I don't really see a way for blue team to actually lose this. If they keep playing this without completely throwing, I think they have got this one in the bag, and they are going to be moving on to the semifinals and eliminating a very powerful team, Ultra Scuffed. Definitely one of some of the most legendary players in Guild Wars 2 PvP on the EU server, at least. They are going to be eliminated here. Trying to get some DPS, and Caspi is now dead. The Druid able to get that kill. But is that going to be enough to make anything happen? Nezio disengaging. Trying to go back onto the Druid now. Chronomancer with support as well. And Red going for a push on mid, but that's not really going to help. That's going to be one node maybe secured versus the two for their opponents. Untamed already back in the mix. Some good snowball denial there as well by the red team, the blue team rather. They did not overcommit. They didn't allow their opponents to get that kind of 2 or 3 kills that you need to really get some serious momentum going on the map. Here we go with the Untamed. Plonks down on the node. Thief does get the decap there. There's the rotator. But at this stage, blue team know that they only need 1 or 2 nodes. They don't need to worry too much about the entire map. Kingslayer goes down, and 2 thieves stalling this. Maybe a little bit overstaying their welcome here. That's for sure. But again, only 1 player dies. They're on their close node. They actually get a kill on the druid here as well. So they're trading a player there with the thief. Their support is here. The necro is here. They're very well established to kind of bunker this down at least for a while until they're able to get a bit of a reset here. Nezio in some trouble, but actually has Shroud, has his heal skill available. Should be completely fine here, at least for the time being. Even able to actually play aggressively onto the opponent. Cabablanca gets destroyed. These Reapers are really putting in the work, actually. This is a Reaper-themed monthly automated taunt, let me tell you that. Does get spiked a little bit there by the Thief, but should be okay, I think. Yeah, gets up onto the kiting spot again. Massive heals from the Chronomancer. Coming through there. And there's the double cap coming through. Red team goes for the sword buff. Might actually get that. Nope. Kingslayer is able to intercept. This is Pain, by the way, of course. But I do like the account name. Yeah, I think that's basically a GG being called there by Fly. He is no longer moving. The entire team is dead. I think that is going to be the GG well played. And yeah, very strong performance here by this team, actually. We saw them in the last round right at the end, taking down Syndra and his team, of course. And now we see a very strong performance from them here against a team that is not to be sniffed at in Ultra Scuffed. They're going to be moving on to the semifinals. That's it. Boom. GG. And that's actually both of the, well, all the quarters. Sniffer! All right. Let's roll out. What game do I want to watch here? Actually not sure. Ooh, Temple. Temple. Let's go. All right then. Blade Sworn. I think I think we're probably going to see a swap there on the Blade Sworn there. Man, what's the other game as well? We might actually have to watch both of these. We actually might have to watch both. Because this is going to be very spicy, I think. Very spicy indeed. Ooh, the Catalyst being brought in. Oh, never mind. That's going to be the immediate relog there. Still playing Necromancer as well, and Core Guardian as well, of course, from Zeolith. Syndra on the Deadeye. Very high mobility. And the Dragon Hunter as well. Very interesting. How is this going to play out against him? We do see the Thief from Draza. That is not a surprise whatsoever, and it's going to be power forward. Going to be playing on the Untamed. Very exciting stuff.
Hold on to your
and away we go. So Temple, definitely a map that is going to be exciting, going to be very spicy. Both teams pushing by the looks of this. Yep, we absolutely do see that. The Deadeye sneaking on over there to intercept the Ranger, and of course the Deadeye on the blue team doing the exact same thing. It is going to find the Necromancer, though. This is going to be a little bit uncomfortable, I think, for TAC Necro.
Red team wins a capture point.
If we do see a decision to engage, looks like it's now going to be happening over here. Necromancer moving towards middle. Of course, the blue team already have their Necromancer there. Chronomancer just kind of holding there with the Vindicator, as of course the red team did decide to actually move the Ranger over here at the same time. Untamed pushing in.
Like that.
Was reinforced, of course, by the Deadeye from the blue team instantaneously. Although the blue team players getting a little bit bopped here, having to disengage. The Untamed in a lot of trouble here, actually. Gets taken out there. Draza's Deadeye proving to be quite lethal onto the Ranger on the blue team. Ooh, and a very nice steal there. Of course, you can always get that interrupt, even with stability. Thief Steal will interrupt an ability, but actually, oh no! Draza actually bonks into the Guardian line and gets taken out. Big bonk there. Massive guard line there. The core guard line putting in the work. And gets destroyed. So kind of a one-for-one trade there, in fact, from these two teams. Necromancer here is going to be on middle here from the red team alongside the Chronomancer, so the support's going to be good. Of course, a lot of damage coming in. They're going to have to be a little bit careful. They are 2v3, lots of DPS. Necromancer and Deadeye is a little bit too much, and red decide to disengage that. And they're okay with that because, of course, we do have the red Ranger and Vindicator locking this down. Meanwhile, the Deadeye from red team is securing middle. So they say, you know what? We don't really care about middle. The temple, rather. They're okay with that. They just say, yeah, we don't really need to fight over middle right now. We can afford to kind of waste you guys. And you can see what happened there. Blue got a little bit trolled. They had 3 players on middle essentially doing nothing for a good chunk of time there because of that decision to just disengage and just let the side nodes play out. However, we do see a very swift interception of the Deadeye. Ooh, and Draza in a lot of trouble, down to 281 HP. And will end up getting taken out. They get sniped, actually, by the other Deadeye from there. Has to port onto the node there. Will get stomped to respawn quickly. But, yeah, there was no response to that and not able to disengage in time. But, meanwhile, red team did take that as an opportunity to push into middle, successfully decapturing the node and going for that full cap. However, there's no Thief on the map for red currently, and that does allow this Untamed to get outnumbered. The Vindicator from Azaz is moving into reinforce. Will be there in a couple of seconds. Can the Untamed hold on to the node? Looks like the answer to that is yes. I think the Vindicator arriving is going to prompt the immediate disengage here from Syndranet to go towards middle instead. Tac Necro probably going to be a potential target here, but bear in mind, there's a lot of reflect of it. Oh, there's no reflect, actually. I thought it was going to be feedback. It is not. It is power break, in fact, is available here on the Chronomancer. So no feedback to kind of counter that Deadeye a little bit. Keep the Necromancer safe, but it does not matter, apparently, as the support is good. Ooh, but the Necro gets pulled back in again. But a massive continue. Look at that huge continuum shift burst. Resustains Tac Necro quite nicely. Gets them out of harm's way. And red team looking really good right now. Looking really, really good right now currently. Buff's about to come up. Buff's now up. And actually, blue team not in a good position to actually go for these. The Dragon Hunter was trying to stall it, but actually just got caught in a massive CC. Completely annihilated there. There is Signet of Mercy available. Didn't want to use it. Went for a hand raise first. Had to back off and use it afterwards, though, and is able to get it. Restabilize this quite nicely, but blue team need to do something. They need to resolve this now. They are currently losing the map massive. They're losing a lot of points. They need to figure out how they're going to handle this buff. They need to get it quickly and then move on very, very fast. Are they able to do that? They kill Tac Necro here. Can't be intercepted either. That's just going to be an immediate stomp there from the Necromancer before moving on. But red team still controlling the map very, very well. Azaz holding the fort here quite nicely into the Ranger. Thief gets some neutralizations across the board, but actually the blue Necromancer completely out of position here, does not have any support, had to drop down to run away. The Guardian had to stay up to continue contesting that buff. Giving that away at this stage would certainly not be good. That is for sure. Blue. What's their play here? So far, just kind of getting out-rotated, to be honest. This is, this is a rotation game. We've even seen a lot of deaths actually coming through, like Draza getting taken out on the Deadeye again. I believe the 3rd death of the match, actually. Of course, very squishy class, and certainly with Dragon Hunter on the field, can be quite difficult to survive against that, that's for sure. But yeah, they've just been in the right places at the right time, controlling these objectives extremely well. Blue team now doing a good job of actually neutralizing stuff here as well. Thief grabbing that node, taking advantage of the lack of enemy Thief to get some work done on the map. Draza will be back very, very soon, of course. Ooh, and this Blue Ranger needs to not die here. I don't think blue team can really afford to have any kind of 1v1 deaths whatsoever. Vindicator doing well. Some really nice evasive action there by the Blue Ranger, though, able to just barely hold on until the Dragon Hunter arrives. Maybe even turning it around onto Azaz. That was very close to falling damage death, which would have been extremely funny, but also quite unfortunate for the red team. Doesn't happen, though, so it works out. But actually, the Ranger gets taken out regardless. Oh, there comes the Stomp as well, with Draza moving in, landing that Shadow Step Stomp, an assassination attempt, a successful one at that. I guess not an attempt.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
Blood Boing stack interrupted. Look, you guys have got to get the Covenant together, as it's not going to work. Still all to play for, though. Definitely not a game over yet. Red team certainly with a pretty nice advantage here. I'm actually going to very briefly hop into the other game. I hate to interrupt the flow here, but I really want to see what's happening in this other game if it's a close match. Oh, okay, never mind. It's not a very close match. Okay, I don't feel guilty anymore. We can go back to the other game. Here we go. Resuming service. Here we go. The pyramid has failed, but that's okay. Has this game failed? Ooh, blue team actually get the top buff here. And bear in mind, both buffs are about to come up there. This is where the game can really change. Like, everything can change now. Whoever handles this set of rotations the best can get a huge advantage. And actually, blue team already off to a pretty rough start there, losing their dragon into right as these objectives... Wait, there's no way. There's absolutely no way. Oh, I don't think blue team can contest this. Blue team can't contest it. Tak Necro immediately grabs Tranquility. Blue couldn't push through. They couldn't push through in time, and red held it. Oh, no. Oh, no, 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 no. That is incredibly unfortunate. There was no response. I think maybe they didn't even see it, potentially. They weren't aware that was happening. They thought maybe the Necromancer was elsewhere or simply rotating in. But an immediate triple cap. It does get neutralized fairly quickly to blue team's credit, I suppose. And they were able to actually kill the Chronomancer. And it looks like they might be able to pick up Power Forward and Azus at the same time here as well, which would be some pretty big wins here. The Deadeye really doing his best to try to eliminate this Vindicator. Might be able to finish the job. Actually cannot finish it, as of course we have the Deadeye from the red team rotating in to quickly put an end to those shenanigans. Shadow Portals away, though, actually does the blue Deadeye back into the mix almost immediately. And blue team do actually kind of, you know, in a weird way, they get the better end of that. Like, they did lose they lost the triple cap, but of course, they killed 3 players for that and were able to neutralize pretty quickly. So, if anything, that kind of worked out in favor of the blue team, to be honest, although maybe a little bit unfortunate to give away that buff so quickly, I guess. There you have it. And we have the blue Deadeye sneaking on in. Gets that decap, and I like the choice to just decap here and get back into the fight. Right now, blue, they're in a good spot. They need more, though. They want to get these kills. They want to keep it up. Goes back, actually. Wants to go for the full cap now, actually, seeing that the fight is going to be fairly solid here in middle. Didn't see a good opportunity to maybe provide any value. Tak Necro gets blown up instantaneously. That's going to be the end of that. Another kill. It's not going to be a super impactful kill. I feel like if Azus falls as well, that's when things get exciting. He might be able to drop down at this point. Is getting supported by the Chronomancer very, very nicely. Here comes the healing. Actually, if blue team can get this top buff, I think they're going to be very, very happy with that. Can Azus deny it? Is able to do so, actually, with a couple of hammer auto attacks. I have a couple of hammer abilities there, but might have to trade his life for it. Things are getting a little bit dicey for the red team. They've got to be careful here. Azus might tick out the Collins. The support is just barely enough to keep him alive. Has the block, has a little bit of cleanse left over there. Of course, he's got the salvation trait line, so dodging is going to remove a condition as well. But I think it's not going to be enough. The Reaper is still in very much hot pursuit. The support, though, maybe it is actually going to be enough. That the support is good. The Guardian is now in play as well with a revive, if it is so necessary to use on this player. Red team, though, they're slowly managing to get back onto the map there. Not enough kills coming through. The Dragon Hunter actually gets caught in the crossfire. The CC is good from the blue team, but I think it's going to be enough to actually get the revive. Oh, never mind. It actually is. The revive is going to be good enough there. The Guardian is able to get that Signet of Mercy off. Has to really load these virtues, though. Needs to keep the support coming. That Dragon Hunter is getting massive, but oh no! Wait, was that a cancel or just like with the ability usage so fast I didn't even see it? Might well have been, I'm not sure. Might have just been very fast activation, maybe some slight lag there. Looked like it was a cancel or a need focus, but maybe not. This Necromancer, the Dragon Hunter rather, is still desperately trying to get away. The Guardian is completely dry on cooldowns at this stage. Oh, a nice blink though from the sword is able to just barely escape there. Oh, doesn't land the pull on the Deadeye, but it doesn't matter actually. The sword 3 is enough to get the kill. Wow, really chaotic segment of this game. What is going on here? Dragon Hunter tries to get some pressure, but ends up taking a lot of damage themselves. My goodness, is that going to be a rally? Oh, didn't actually manage to get a hit. They tried to move forwards to get a hit and then go for the rally, but they aren't able to get it, so no rally onto the core guard. Could it somehow be revival? The downside symbol is being used, but it's not going to be enough. Oh, what an insane sequence of events there, but goes very well for red team in the end. They do lose their Deadeye, but they completely cripple the offensive of their opponent, securing the top buff, getting another kill on this Dragon Hunter. And they're in a very good spot now. Very good spot now for the red team, because they did lose the map, but they have really good momentum now. They're going to be able to neutralize this stuff pretty easily, I think. The Reaper is in the mix over here, pushing into this Untamed. They get that top buff there. So as soon as they have that node, their point gain is going to be very, very good. Reaper is giga dead here, to be honest, as the Deadeye comes in. But yeah, the points, they do not lie, my friends. They do not lie whatsoever. It's not looking good for blue. There's the quadruple cap as well, as middle is secured. Dragon Hunter now does get back into the mix, of course, into this fight, and it's not unwinnable by any stretch of the imagination, especially seeing as Tak Necro did get eliminated, but blue team needs to win this fight in the next 10 seconds, pretty much, or I think they are completely out of time in this match and out of time in this tournament, and we're going to be seeing the red team go forth towards the finals to actually face the Enigma's team, potentially. Okay, let's see, can red team close this out? Deadeye in a little bit of trouble there, but is reinforced by the Dragon Hunter. They should be able to turn this round probably into a kill. Yep, there we go. Boom. Okay, okay. It's not over. Oh, 3 minutes is tough, though. Deadeye is going to desperately try to reinforce and get over there. This fight needs to be a big blast in favor of blue. They've got to crush this. Can they make that happen? The Necromancer from red team is back. If they can get this killed very quickly, there's maybe some hope here. However, the Guardian is getting mega focused and is completely out of stuff. Is going to go for the kite. Looks like Tak Necro might fall. Nice kiting here by the Guardian. There's the kill. Can they actually manage to win this fight? Here's the heal skill. It is available. A good fight from blue. A very good fight from blue. Okay. They've got their Ranger in place. Exactly what they want to see. I don't think... Oh, they don't need a double. They don't need a triple. They need a double, though. A single isn't enough.
Tranquility has appeared.
Tranquility's up again. Surely we don't see a repeat. Nope, we do see an interception this time. Oh, it's the Dragon Hunter, though. I don't think the Dragon Hunter is going to be comfortable in this matchup whatsoever, but kind of has to. Like, this is one of those desperation moves. You got to do what you got to do, and this is what the Dragon Hunter has to do. Has to hold this in order for the blue team to win. The contention is right now the upper buff at the same time. Thieves are 1v1ing. Honestly, if someone can win that, that's massive. If either of these Thieves is actually capable of killing the other, that could 100% actually be the deciding factor in this game. Red tries to defuse the fight. Tak Necro goes for the decap. I think the Ranger should be able to just barely make it. The cripple is huge. The cripple is massive and actually guarantees the decap. That's very, very tasty. Oh, a really unfortunate scuffed port there from the Rangers, not taking where it wants to go, but Azaz is going to go down there. Is that revivable? The poison should come through from the Ranger to deny that, and the stomp as well to boot that the Ranger wants to go for this node, I think, there. Meanwhile, the Thief 1v1 continues to kind of rage on here as well. Meanwhile, what's going on bottom buff? Yeah, that DH is not happy here, as you can see there. The Ranger doing a great job pushing that away, but not able to secure the kill. So as long as the DH gets the out of combat, I like that a lot from the DH. Should be able to intercept. Gets the intercept. Yeah, this is exactly what the DH has got to do. This is good decision making here. And now we have the full capper as well on the altar. Things are about to get a little bit spicy. Content is happening.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
1 minute. Is a single cap enough? It actually is. One cap wins the game for blue, assuming there are no kills. And of course, no caps for their opponent as well. The Thief 1v1 is still happening, but actually, no, it's not. I believe, no, it is, actually. I thought the Thief actually left to go to middle, but actually, we have the Dragon. Oh, the DH died! That forces Sin to leave. He has to leave. He can't allow this. Oh, no, but he can't really get away, though. Yeah, that sucks for the Dragon Hunter. Not quite able to... Ooh, hang on. The Ranger makes it, but it's not going to be enough. And there's the triple cap. It activates. Oh, the sextuple cap activates as the top buff was yielded. The Dragon Hunter is being revived, but that is completely over. There's no way. Oh, what an unbelievably close matchup here as well. Blue team were really crawling back into it, but that is not going to cut it. 500 to 400. What an intense matchup there as well. That's some incredible stuff. All right. Oh, what a place to end on. The legacy of the Fofar. All right. Okay. So, on the red team, we have France. Kill. Support Chronomancer. Draza. Gonna go for the Berserker. Let's see if we see, you know, going for a Thiefless setup here, actually. Maybe. Azaz. Vindicator. Power forward. Soul Beast. Kind of this Condi setup. Berserker setup, in fact, rather. Yeah, no, the other guy was playing Condi. This guy's playing Power. Berserker Amulet. Ruin the Spellbreaker. Ruin the Fireworks. Skirmishing. Beast Mastery and Soul Beast. Of course, Tak Necro. One of those powerful French players in the game. Curses, Death Magic, and Reaper. The Demon Queen. Ruin of the Links. Carrying Amulet. Big DPS. So on the blue team, it's Team Enigma. Nezio, Casby, Pain, Enigma, and First Aid Kit on Spectre. So it's a double thief. Double thief here, guys, versus no thief whatsoever. Now, that is something you see every day. That is unusual. That is very unusual.
Hold on to your points.
Now, of course, this map does have a little bit of a predilection for some big fights, some big clashes, but you got to bear in mind also, you can very quickly move across this map as Thief. Like, it might be a little bit difficult for the red team to catch up. I'm very interested to see how they're going to deal with this. It's a 3-node push immediately. Az is holding on, will have to deal with a Spectre and an Untamed. And of course we have Draza and Power Forward will be driving away Pain away from the waterfall, at least for the time being. So everything's staying neutral for now. Looks like blue might be able to grab middle unless the Untamed, the Soul Beast rather, is going to be able to stand on the node. Yep, the Reaper able to shove him away.
Team grabbed a capture point.
So blue team picking up that node right at the start here.
Red team wins a capture point.
But red trading it by getting the waterfall. Of course, they had 2 players there to only the 1 of blue. Thief now looking to maybe intercept, but actually the red team a little bit too smart for that. They're already ready to go. And the Chronomancer and the Necromancer able to actually get a successful push, deprive their opponents of the quarry as well. However, that Chronomancer is getting nuked, does go down state, but is able to get through the portal, so should be able to be revived here. I think we're going to see Azaz probably go through, because, yeah, has to actually res this quickly, because that gate is not going to last long. Do they get the res? Yes, they do, but actually there's no gate to hide from now. This is actually a little bit scary. Yeah, blue team, yeah, not going to go for it.
Blue team
Bear in mind, that cleanse mantra, when you channel it, you get a full comedy cleanse on yourself. A really powerful personal survivability tool there, actually, if you're able to actually get that channel off. But they escape with their lives just barely. Nordraza ready to go, in position, holding on. And red team grabs middle in all of that chaos there as well. Caspi getting Reapered to death there. The damage output of this Reaper is very, very high indeed, actually. Has to run away in absolute terror. Gets the super speed off there. Chronomancer then it also comes in with support. Az is now under fire here, under pressure, under lockdown. Wants to get back to that Chronomancer. Chronomancer is responding now. Has all the good healing and all the cleansing, all that kind of wonderful stuff. Activates it. Free decap there for the Kingslayer. And this is kind of exactly what I expected. It's a lot of incredibly fast-paced little mini skirmishes and little mini fights here. And you can really see Draza actually gets Reapered to death there as well. Not able to, not able to outlast that, especially when the Chronomancer is supporting. It's going to increase the damage and, of course, prevent a lot of the damage application of the Warrior from preventing the Necro. Like, if a Necro's allowed to free cast on you, there's pretty much nothing that can survive that. It's going to be so much damage that there's no way out for you. You will die. A very close match. It's very difficult to say who's winning right now, I think. Very, very close so far. No major advantage to either team, I want to say, at this stage in the matchup. It really could go either way at this point. Blue team trying to contend with the waterfall. It's double Thief here, though, and I think they're going to kind of struggle to actually have a bit of a presence on this node at this time. You can see that they're trying to find an opening, find a way to pick away at Azaz, and Azaz certainly is not going to be comfortable with 2 Thieves jumping on him, but with the assistance of the Chronomancer now, and of course the Soul Beast, it's looking fairly comfortable here, at least for the time being. But here comes that Reaper, and we've seen Reaper be a bit pivotal in a lot of these fights throughout this entire tournament. Where the Reaper is, you have to be scared. The damage output is absolutely massive. Okay.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture.
And now we see the disengage, and red team locking on middle, but blue, they do actually have the sides. So red team has got to make something happen. Looks like they're going to be focusing on Draza's node, I think, but he's getting driven away right now. Azaz moves in, comes in for the 2v2. Let's see how this one's going to play out. Looks like a kill might be coming through onto Caspi pretty soon, but Draza, he's got to be careful. Gets his heal skill off, and maybe that is their opening to go for the Ranger. Let's see if that's going to happen. Chronomancer and Necromancer also moving in there as well. Everything getting neutralized constantly. That is what happens when you've got 2 Thieves on one team. Ranger here from Power Forward sneaks over to the other side of the map and is able to actually get that node. Meanwhile, red team, I think, should have a good... They should be winning this here. They have the superior team fight, of course. They should be in a good position to hold on to this node. They are outnumbered, though, I believe, as they have their Warrior on middle, so they're in a, they're in a 3v4, so... Cancel that. They're not going to be taking that fight. But red trying to hold on to their point advantage. Just 5 points ahead right now. There is no gate, which is a very humorous scenario because running to your base can often be kind of a bit of a get-out-of-jail free card on this map, but absolutely not the case here as the gate has already been destroyed. The enemies will simply follow you right through.
Red team wins a capture point.
And blue team, though, they weren't able to get kills here. And that was definitely a big play there. A big move by red. They disengaged very smartly there. They knew they were going to be getting the cap on them. They knew they were a 4v3. They let their Thief do the work, or the Ranger and the Warrior do the work. And they find themselves in a good spot. This is going to be a very tactical game. We actually might not see that many kills and really big conflicts. This might be almost a true conquest game of Guild Wars 2. It might be very oriented around moving your little chess pieces around the map, and standing on the points. We might be getting a very conquest experience here. Having said that, both Azaz and the support Chronomancer for red, highly under pressure, but they turn it around onto Nezio, exploding him immediately with a combination of the Necromancer, the Vindicator, and the Warrior there. Caspi might be next on the list as well, and is in fact going to be the case. No revival here as well.
Blue team takes a
Chronomancer is going to be very, very lonely over here. We'll try and hold on to this node for as long as possible, but I mean, that's not going to be easy. Chronomancer is, you know, not really a 1v1 spec right now. Definitely more of a you heal people. Should be able to survive, though. Actually has the double shield block and a mantra, even a reset if necessary with Signet of Illusions. However, still not in a super comfortable spot. Necromancer is in play now as well. Needs to get back into that team fight over on middle to match the Necromancer of the blue team. But yeah, Chronomancer not in a super happy spot right now. There goes the Signet of Illusions. Has Blink still available. So does have that disengage tool. But red team don't look to be letting up. Yeah, we have Tac Necro moving in for some big DPS there. But a good Blink is going to allow the Chronomancer to disengage, at least for the time being. But very low on juice currently. Continuum Shift is coming up there. There's Time Warp as well. That could potentially be pretty big. Red team, a little bit of trouble here. But again, the support is good from the red Chronomancer. Tac Necro. Ready to go. Ready to pump.
Blue team grabbed a capture point.
Soul Beast gets caught. We'll get immediately killed. I think this is just going to prompt red team to back off. They're just going to play this one slow. This is smart, though, actually, if you think about it, right? Like, if you got to rush into a double thief comp, you will just get outmaneuvered. You will just get farmed. So I like this. You know, they're playing it slow. Warrior makes their way over to the waterfall. Meanwhile, we have the Chronomancer and the Necromancer doing their thing, sticking together. They're partners in crime over here. Holding on. And actually, it's Azaz who does go down, though, actually. Combination of Caspian Kingslayer getting the kill there. That's going to leave Draza in a bit of an exposed position. Doesn't have his heal for a while, actually. Yeah, he's going to fall down there immediately. Massive damage coming from that Warrior Stolen skill there on Pain. Very big DPS is now activating. Tac Necro also in a little bit of trouble. The pressure is very, very high onto that Necromancer. There's the kill, and blue team actually win both sides of the map simultaneously. This Soul Beast is also in a huge amount of trouble. Doesn't quite tick out to the Condis, but needs to get out of combat to reset that. Looks for a decap, but might get intercepted here by Caspi. I think very likely for that to happen, as that Ranger is now in play. Red team getting chased all the way back into the base again, actually, by the Spectre and the Reaper. Meanwhile, blue team setting up this triple cap there. Ooh, that's a big one, actually. That was a very brutal wipe there from the blue team. Red, they're wisely going to go for a regroup. Draza going to go for the push. Meanwhile, the rest of red is going to try to move through this, you know, get out of their base. Ooh, the Spectre maybe overstaying their welcome. Might well be doing so. And does get taken out. A little bit of, maybe a little bit of slacking there in terms of movement. And red team brutalized the blue team off respawn. And it looks like we are going to see the Chronomancer fall as well. Oh, no. Nezio getting revived. This needs to be responded to. Red team don't see it. Oh, no. Actually, does that even matter? I think Nezio is not in a super... Actually, does have full shroud. Maybe can get away. Just barely. Doesn't have swiftness or any mobility. Ooh, gets chilled. That's a little bit annoying. Gets the transfer off, though, actually, with the staff. So might just be able to barely wriggle away. But the Chronomancer is still bleeding out there. Pain now in the mix. Ooh. That wasn't good. I don't think that should have happened, to be honest. Just a little bit of overstaying the welcome from a couple of blue players and mercilessly punished by the red team off respawn. A very strong regroup. Draza, of course, was successful in his mission to get the waterfall. He's kind of hanging around in between, watching if he needs to go into this fight, or, of course, respond to a rotation from a thief from the opponent. Ooh, and Nezio has to run away, gets absolutely nuked and locked down. Azaz wants blood. He's not done. I think he's going to find this kill. He absolutely does. Is there a revive potential available? No, absolutely not. Way too much damage. Red team is very packed here, though. They need to be careful. They've got to move. There wasn't a threat to the waterfall, so that's definitely very lucky for them. Are they going to find any more kills? It looks like the Chronomancer is going to be able to get the disengage. What about the Ranger, though? The Ranger on middle actually should be fine. Yeah. Should be fine. The red now with that 2-cap. Ooh, it's really getting razor tight here, isn't it? Goodness me. 306 points. Red team will be slowly gaining right now. Very slowly crawling back into this game. Soul Beast disengaging. Gets supported. Again, red, as long as they hold this map state, they're all right. Blue are the ones who've got to do something right now. And you can kind of see that, a very defensive posture from red. Warrior hanging back, watching out for those thieves. And here we go. Blue team's going for the push. Here it comes. And yeah, you can see Nezio, like the red team, they want that Necromancer. They want that Necromancer. And oh my goodness, the Spectre actually gets caught, leaps in, and immediately nuked from orbit. Azza's going for it, drives the Spectre away. The stealth makes it a little bit too difficult to actually keep track of the Spectre, but very, very pressured. We'll be able to heal him again soon, but again, this of course means it's outnumbered. The Thief can't really participate in this fight. This leaves Nezio as a bit of a sitting duck right now. The support from the Chronomancer, though, is just barely enough to get the Necromancer out. The decap did come through that forces Draza to rotate back in. This does give a brief moment of opportunity where blue has the outnumber. Can they find it? Yes, they do. There's the Chronomancer. Immediately destroyed. The immobilized locks it in. And now there's no way red can fight. Red can't fight anymore. They have to get out. And the Soul Beast also falls. And red team, they can't contest this. And middle will be captured by blue. That could be a bit of a game-winning move there. That was a very decisive victory for our blue team. And they might be fighting more too, because bear in mind, these red team players, they are isolated, not on their home side of the map. Yeah, I think we're just seeing an almost suicide move here from Tak Necro. Just wants to get on the point just to try and be annoying to slow it down a little bit. The Chronomancer arrives just barely in time. The game is certainly not over yet, but blue team have got themselves into a very, very tasty position indeed. We do have Draza. Should be able to bully this thief away, at least force a neutralization, but middle is now becoming a little bit of an issue for the red team. They don't really want to be leaving that neutral, especially when Azaz is down. They have to get that res. They have to. They do get it. That's mandatory, not optional at this point. And now they've got to see if they can turn this fight. Do they find the kill on Nezio? Nezio in a little bit of trouble. Does get stealth, though, actually. There's the disengage, but actually, Azaz, he wants it. He's going to find it. He does get it. The cleave hit should be good as well. There's a lot of CC, a lot of DPS. Chronomancer arrives a little bit too late to get any kind of revival potential. Meanwhile, Kingsley kind of threatening Draza. This is so annoying. This is why not having a thief sucks. He thought the thief went here, but he didn't. He's actually off the map. It's still a 4v4 over here because there is a kill. But honestly, red car needs to get another kill here. Otherwise, they are going to find themselves in a bit of an awkward position on the map when the respawns do come through. Now here comes the respawn. But again, red must neutralize this. This isn't... I don't think this is good enough. They need to get rid of this node here. Even with a double cap, they're still in trouble. Can they get it done here? Here on the waterfall, Caspi is in a 1v2, but of course does mean red team is being outnumbered here on middle. Tak Necro looks to be the target, getting heavily focused there by the thieves. Look at that, it's too much. 4v1, nowhere near enough there. They do see a kill onto Caspi, but that is not going to be good enough. 5 points in the pocket for blue from the kill of Tak. Should pretty much be locking in this game. I think blue team just needs to bunker down middle at this stage. And yeah, you could really see the power of that thief. It just forced so many 4v5s. Like, Draza was just not able to be doing what he wants to be doing in this fight, like getting these consistent engagements. Unless there's some kind of miracle decap, and I don't think that's even possible at this stage. There's too many players from the blue team on middle. I don't think there's any way this is recoverable, actually, for red. Red team, go for it, and obviously that's fair. Like, that's what you should do, but it's 10 seconds. It's 10 seconds till this game is over. It's 10 seconds. And they don't have 10 seconds. Thief also gets the decap. Even if this fight goes pear-shaped for blue, it's not going to matter. And we do see Nezio die, but it's not enough. 500 points tick over. What a finals. What is going on there? And that's it. Game over. Game over.